Ladies and gentlemen, we're here to discuss this fantasy football court case, which is basically just value. It's not player versus player, although we might introduce some subjects and witnesses and potential comparables of said players on screen. But we're here to discuss the dynasty value of Patrick Mahomes, Kenneth Walker with Emmett Johnson cuffed to him. What that means, what we predict with it. And Rashee Rice. Dynasty values, where do we rank them? The Fantasy Football Show Court Edition. And we're talking top 4 QB, yes or no. Top 7 running back in Dynasty, cuffed Emmett Johnson, yes or no. Rashee Rice, top 8 wide receiver, let's say, in Dynasty. Maybe top 7. Maybe we do Walker and Rice at a number 7. That show, that Fantasy Football Court Show begins right now. File on into the Dynasty Show. It begins right now.
Live from the TheFantasyFootballShow.com studios, it's the Dynasty Fantasy Football Show. You're watching a
graveyard stream.
It's time for fantasy football. Court!
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here to discuss top 7 running back numbers for Kenneth Walker. And this show will start off with a 10-minute timer. I don't know if we'll be able to get through the entire court case. We might need to recess until tomorrow unless we get extenders, which will open the door to more conversation. But we're going to start the timer off right now. Let me put the timer in the top right of the screen. And that's the way, or bottom right of the screen. That's the way that Dynasty shows go. Walker at number 7 overall is a tall order. I get it. But I do believe that Emmett Johnson has the tools and the ability and the confidence of Andy Reid. Although Andy Reid did show confidence of Brashard Smith. I think that is one testimony that we might have on the phone line here soon. Well, how do we believe that he likes Emmett Johnson? Well, we love Emmett Johnson. We liked Brashard Smith a lot. He was not a top 5, 10 running back potential. We'll call it top 6 to 10 because Emmett Johnson is not a top 5 running back either. But could he be like running back 7 to 12 in any given season? Maybe. In this offense, maybe. We really like Emmett Johnson. He needed to fall to the right spot. He did not for himself, but he did in terms of a protective measure, and maybe an injury opens the door to him getting top 7 to 12 numbers. So this combination, if cuffed properly, I do believe has top 7 running back appeal. That is what Your Honor is going to argue. This corrupt court will decide, and I'll take phone calls in a second for anybody that wants to debate this situation. So we have that court case that we need to get through at the same time as the wide receiver court case. Let me move these bad boys down and put this one up. Top 8. I think we're going to move this to top 7 dynasty wide receiver argument for Rashee Rice. So your Honor's already deciding that I believe that top 7 is in order for Walker. I won't lock it in yet. My decision will come at the end when we hear all the testimonies. But top 7 wide receiver dynasty value for this man known as Rashee Rice. I think this is very arguable, but it is on the borderline of potentially not being something that is easy to get done, to accept, to draft over and over, to cement your dynasty team in the hands of this man as wide receiver 7, but is an arguable stage, which is what we're doing. We're trying to enter at a very arguable territory. We got our first extender, which will extend this show another 5 minutes. So instead of 8 minutes, we'll have 13 minutes to go, thanks to Hammer.
5-minute extender.
The show has just been extended 5 minutes due to a $20 super chat.
So we're going to put 13 minutes on the board.
Columbia. Beautiful.
Beautiful. We'll put in 13 minutes on the board and go back to what we're trying to argue here. So let me go back to the screen. So top 7 dynasty numbers, wide receiver 7 essentially is that capable. Thank you, Hammer. Give me Walker top 7, says Hammer. Phone lines are open. Dial in now while I'm trying to get through this right here. And I'll put you on the phone line as I speak about this last piece. Patrick Mahomes, top 4 quarterback in Dynasty. That case must be made today. Phone lines will be open for expert witnesses or prosecution or defense. We are basically just a chaos court here tonight. So file on into the phone line as you're filing on into the show. Patrick Mahomes 4, Dynasty QB, argue it. Yay or nay. The docket is Mahomes 4, Rice 7, Walker with Emmett Johnson cuffed 7. Dial in, dial in, dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
As we await our first caller, our first expert witness or prosecution or defense team member calling in, I'm going to also say that Bruce is calling in right now. I'm going to say that I believe that all of these are arguable. I would not have chosen a number that I couldn't kind of nudge one way or the other. I will tell you that I did choose a number that I think I could argue both sides for if I wanted to. If I had to be the defense or the prosecution, I could argue either way. I think these numbers are very, very close. For running back, just as an example, spitballing Gibbs and Bijan and Achane and Genty and Love and Hampton. And then it's like, okay, yeah, Walker, JT, Walker, JT, Chase Brown, Bucky, Etienne, James Cook. Like those are I think 7 is a beautiful landing spot for this debate. For Mahomes, the debate of Mahomes being Allen, Drake May, Lamar Jackson, JD5, and Joseph Cigar Smoking Burrow. I think 4 is very, very understandable for Mahomes. And then when we go to Rashee Rice, it's complicated. No one's saying it's an easy call, but JSN, Chase, and Nakua, Lamb, Neighbors, JJ. And then it's like Rice, St. Brown, London, Nico, maybe you like a Tyson or 2. Like that is a really good, these are great spots, 7, 7, and 4. Let's start off with Hammer on the phone line, then over to Travis. Hammer, what say you on Mahomes real quickly, top 4 Dynasty QB? Yay or nay on this? And give me like 30, maybe 20 seconds because we got to go around the whole line. 20 seconds of your defense or prosecution.
Top 4?
Yeah. Top 4.
Nay.
Nay. Okay, who is climbing ahead of him? And Husseini just dropped a extender, so now we're at roughly 15. I'll just put it 15 minutes even to make it simple. Thank you, Husseini, with the extender. Appreciate Husseini dropping that
5-minute extender.
Explain yourself real quickly in 20 seconds. Why do you not like Mahomes at 4? Who's going ahead of him?
I have Allen, Burrow, JD5, and then I guess he does make my 4th.
4 it is. 4 it is. This corrupt court says 4 it is.
Yeah, that was corrupt. Yeah, I didn't really prep for that one, but that is who.
That's right. Witnesses have been tampered with before on this court. Okay, let's go over to the more important topic for you. This is the topic that you've been wanting to discuss because your super chat mentioned it. So Walker and Emmett Johnson together cuffed. Explain yourself as to why you are in defense of this number, especially with Emmett Johnson cuffed. But go ahead, speak to it.
From a dynasty standpoint, I'm removing James Cook and Jonathan Taylor. So I would go Gibbs, Bijan, Genty, Achane.
Gibbs, Bijan, Genty, Achane. Love?
Hampton, Love, and Walker. Yeah, Hampton, Love, and Walker.
Love. And then Walker. I don't hate that at all. Yeah, Cook. You remove Cook. You remove Chase Brown.
I removed Cook, Taylor, Chase Brown. Pretty much, again, it being dynasty, it being age.
I mean, no.
I'm not loving those. I'm not loving those environments as much.
No one
either.
can come in here and disagree with this so badly that they think it's asinine. Like if someone goes, "You can't do this over Cook," like that's a crazy debate. This is so doable. If you were to put him in like in between Achane and Hampton, I think a little bit more pushback because But even that's like you could say is argue. Like you could argue it. I'm not saying you win in the consensus way of winning, but Walker here, I don't know how someone could even, especially if you're cuffing Emmett Johnson, it's so arguable. And then real quickly over to Rice. I know you've mentioned before that Rashi Rice you love in redraft, and maybe you've changed your tune a little bit in Dynasty, but you haven't been as in love with his Dynasty value. Has that changed for you? Or are you still?
I'm gonna give my. Can I give my 7 in no particular order, or does it need to be in order?
I mean, try to order it, but then like if there's a group, just throw them out and just tell me if they're like no particular order.
I'm going Jamar Chase. I'm going.
Hold on,
Neighbors.
Let me get Husseini in here. Hold on one second. Husseini, mute yourself real quickly. Appreciate you. Okay, Chase, Neighbors. Go ahead. JJ. Which I think is an underrated way to look at this, to be honest with you. I like JSN ahead of right.
I have JSN next.
Okay. I think JJ's 4 for me, and I have very underrated. Go ahead.
I have Rice.
Woo! 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 Woo!
I have Pickens.
Woo!
And I have St. Brown.
So Puka not even there. Okay.
Puka's not in it.
He's not there. Okay, that was an omission on purpose, just so everybody knows. All right, hold on. Let me go. Yeah. Great arguments. Let me go over to Travis, and then over to Hussein, then to Bruce, and whoever else is on the phone line. Travis, pick one, please, to debate right now.
I mean, can I just make 2 quick points? You can go to Husseini.
Sure.
Like just basically a sentence each, because I know Husseini paid some money, so I want him to speak. With Mahomes, he's been a top 4 quarterback 4 out of the 8 seasons he's been in the league, and it would have been 5 if not for the end of last year. He was going to be a top 5, top 4 guy. So as much as he's not a top 4 QB, he is a top 4 QB, and that's insanely rare. And then with Walker, I'm right with you guys on it. I think the best argument if someone was going to go against Walker.
Hey, real quickly, hold that thought. Just don't let that thought go. We have this board here for a reason. Mahomes was QB1 until he got hurt. Like Travis is just saying, Mahomes has been QB1, 3, 4, 1. And he had another season where he was in top 4 this last season, but he was the entire time before he got hurt. He was QB1, 2, or 3, depending on your scoring. So what Travis said is not, he didn't misspeak. He's speaking the truth. We hammered this point home as to why Mahomes is going to tear up 2025, and he did until he got injured. He's been top 4 QB more times than he has not. If you really do factor in last year as what it was. Go ahead, Travis. I'm sorry. Walker, what?
No, you're good. I agree with the Walker take, but if I was to play devil's advocate and against it, the argument would be that you're assuming this is because it's the Chiefs, because Walker has never finished as a top 15 RB. You're assuming because now the situation he's in, that it'll keep him healthy and he'll get the workload to do that. Which is
a fair statement, and also a fair kind of assumption to attach to too, though. Like, hey, he's got a good environment finally, and they kept.
For sure. Yeah.
Well, and Emmett Johnson though is a part of this. You cuff him if you like Emmett, and you say Walker misses time, or let's say Walker just ends up busting after a half a year of getting overworked or whatever. Like, is Emmett Johnson someone you like enough to say, I would take the risk on all that Walker injury concern because I love Emmett Johnson? And he, Emmett is such, he needed to go to a good spot, and this quietly is if they need him. It's not a great spot necessarily for what you want standalone Emmett Johnson value to be, but damn if it's not one of the coolest spots for Walker risk taker.
And I bet that even if Emmett Johnson didn't work out, you still have so many cracks at the backup RB that you're probably going to be able to pick up, whether it's DeMarcaro, Brashard Smith, maybe their undrafted free agent guy who's pretty good, Jaden Ott rises up. Like, there's going to be a cup there that you can have.
All right. Hosseini, all good points, Travis. All good points. Hosseini, let's go back over to the QB conversation first, then we'll go over to Rice, then we'll go to Walker. So, Hosseini, thank you for the super chats, young man. And let me get my homie back on the screen here. So you say right here, Mahomes top 4 quarterback in your super chat, in your extender that gave us 5 more minutes. We got 7 minutes and 9 seconds left. Hosseini, hammer away. As hammer.
Yeah, hey Smitty.
Hey, go ahead.
Yeah, for Mahomes, as far as Mahomes, yeah, I put top 4 just because I put him right at 4. I have Allen, JD5, Lamar, and then Mahomes, like for fantasy purposes, dynasty. And I mean, just like a lot of people say, our O-line sucks, but they don't really look at the details. Like our whole O-line was injured; they're healthy. He has a real running back. Rice is going to be there all season. Bandyme's back. A lot of people. Some people, I shouldn't say a lot, don't understand the significance of that, and so it is a whole new Chiefs team. I like where it's headed. He's way ahead of, I don't want to say way ahead, but he's ahead of schedule. He's taking this very serious, so I don't really have a concern with that. He's not going to rush a lot. So, yeah, I love Mahomes right there. Like him more than, pretty much everyone besides Allen, JD5, and Lamar.
Yeah. Okay, so we got that. Luis, I don't know what you're saying. Not cool. Just have it on the mainstream. We just did the mainstream. This is the Dynasty show. We do this every night, Luis. Nothing's changed. This is exactly what we do every single night. Okay. Mahomes top 4. Okay, so we got that out of the way. I don't disagree. I knew you were going to say that. Let's go over to the let's go to the running back position first. And we've got Walker and Emmett Johnson as a cuff, as a combo, as a duo, as a rock solid running back 1 for redraft, but speak to it in Dynasty.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I mean, top 7. I could put a top 7. I mean, there's a lot. There's a good amount of running backs or even running back duos I'd take over him, but I love it. I mean, top 7 sounds like a good number. Top 6, top 7, right around there. Right. I just love K9's explosiveness. I know Emmett Johnson is just explosive and he can catch footballs. Right,
Rice in your top is Rice in your top 7?
Rice in my Rice is actually top 5.
Top 5, okay. Rice to me. Let me go back to the board on this one because I'll rank my
I think
top.
I'd have to go against the top 7 Rice too. Slightly.
Okay, I'd like to hear that. Let me put my top 7 wide receivers on the board real quickly, and I'll try and go in as best order as I can. JSN's the safest, but we talked about this the other night. It could be Jamar Chase. You almost have to put them as a tie for 1. 3 for me would be Neighbors, and then but I can make this JJ if I wanted to. JJ is my clear number 4, or at least tie. You could almost put this as a tie in a way. I think JJ is getting totally disrespected in Dynasty. It's ridiculous. Number 5 for me. So we got Puka's not in it. Lamb, I got Lamb in the mix for this. I've got St. Brown. He's getting older, but he's in the mix for this. London's in the mix for this. Honestly, if I was to put Lamb here, and then number 6 put, let's say Pickens is here. I don't think there's a world where I can't argue St. Brown, Rice. Argue it. London. Who am I missing? Buka's in this. And I think Tyson will be. I'm not going to put him in yet, but he could be. Nico's in the conversation for sure. St. Brown I got in here. Do I have everybody? That's anybody? I think so. I don't think I'm missing anybody. But this is a really arguable group for me. And so while someone could say I don't have him in my top 7, I understand that because I think all these guys could be argued number 7. But he's certainly in the conversation for top 7 for me. And it depending on how my team's built and all that, like we definitely know we can get Rice cheaper than this. So I think for the most part, we all need to, even though this debate is fun, understand that we don't have to draft him as wide receiver 7 at all. But do I think that there's a huge debate here for it? Yeah. I mean, if he walks out of 2026 and stays healthy, he will probably cement himself in right next to St. Brown here in 2027 redraft. And Buka might climb into that as well. But in Dynasty, it's Rice and Buka for me. London's got a lot to prove, and I don't like Stefanski. I like Tommy Reese a little bit for sure, but I'm worried enough that I can't. Nico's getting Nico. How old's Nico? Is he 20, 27? Hammer dropping another extender.
Nico says he's 27. I'll see if he turns.
Yeah.
28.
So 11:20 for time. Thank you, Hammer. Appreciate you dropping yet another mother freaking extender.
5-minute extender.
The show has just
what
been
he said too, because it's a big point for him to make.
Yeah. So if I had to guess, if Rice stays healthy and he's going to get a bag, he's going to get like 38, 37, 40. Who knows what it's going to be? It depends how he does. If he finishes as wide receiver 3, he'll get $39, $40 million a year. But it depends how he finishes. So we're predicting him to have a big year, finish the season. If he gets banged up or hurt, he's not even a top 10 wide receiver. It is a critical year. If he gets banged up and hurt, he's not a top 10 dynasty wide receiver. Like how much of this is on the line for him in a contract year? A lot, But again, as we mentioned, like yesterday and the day before, like Achane was, after his injured rookie year, was one injury away like that from not being trusted or being anybody's top 10 running back, or would even Mike McDaniel trust him to be a full-time guy if he kept getting hurt his second year and he didn't get hurt. So just because there's a lot on the line doesn't mean the player won't deliver and cement themselves into greatness and dynasty greatness. So this is going to be trying. I just think St. Brown being a little older next year, a calendar year from today. London is young, but that situation is kind of confusing. Nico's older. I don't love the situation either. So Buka and Rice, and then if you want to hang on to St. Brown, like because you're okay with the older, him being older a year from now, I think those are the three guys. Rice, and then Buka, and then St. Brown if you want to hold on to it. That will be my argument. And then Hammer says, going to get a lot of hate. Please remove JSN for Buka. Well, I don't have your ranking up anymore, so no one's going to hate it because it's not here anymore. Thank goodness. I think that is wild to take off JSN though. That is out of the top 7, Hammer.
Yeah, I think there's a very strong possibility
bag
that last year
I need a bag.
The best. Everyone's going to need a bag to take it in. I think there's a very strong possibility that is the best we'll see from JSN.
Woo.
And
Woo.
And again, I could go through each player as to why I have them in there. I'm still not completely sold on Darnold, especially on the fact that it's a new system. You lost your Super Bowl MVP. So yeah, I'm not. I liked what I saw from Igbokwe.
I appreciate it
in that environment.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I'm sure everyone appreciates it. It's to speak on Rice's point. When he's in the game, it's a completely different offense. Again, that's when he's on the field, when he's in the game. Like when he's not in the game, the Chiefs are not the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So he is fervently in there for me. And for Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, I love that situation. I love as gay as it might sound. I love how
the show has
tight
just been
they are,
extended.
and it seems like pretty evident. And I like that they play different positions.
Yeah.
At the same position, so they both can eat.
Yeah, I hear you. I guess the JSM part though, like not even getting in the top 7. That's definitely probably one of the bold. You should put that on the bold predictions because you land that and the whole world's gonna be
dynasty.
Like, hell,
because
is
that dynasty? You're talking dynasty though. I don't know.
Yeah, but I got
dynasty.
But I got JSM 1. I got him tied for 1 too.
So
how would you quantify that though? Is what I'm getting at, I guess. For
quantify what?
Is all I was saying.
Quantify what? Environment.
Oh, how does he?
What I've seen.
Oh, okay. But I like Milrow. I'm telling you, if something happened to Darnold, I'd be fine with it. Chase 2, Neighbors 3, Chase 1, Neighbors 2, Lamb 3, JJ 4, Rice 5. So Husseini, you don't have JSN in the top 5?
JSN?
What is going on? What's the water, boys?
No. I have JSN in the top 8 or 9.
Bro, what are you guys drinking the same water? Are you guys near the same river?
Well, I love JSN. My thing is I feel like Kubiak was the offense. I feel like I don't even know who they have. I just know that they're not even the jockstrap of Kubiak. And so people don't really I think Darnold had whatever his name is, Vikings coach. So he was really good with quarterbacks. And then he did better, learn, progress, and then he went at Kubiak, and he's the same thing. Now, this next guy, I don't know if he's going to be able to, because Darnold's not special in my eyes. He's just, he's a good player when he has the right coach. When he doesn't have that, I just feel like he falls apart. And that's just my take on that.
I feel like we're in a bizarre world because we got John even sitting here saying JSN is great, but won't be able to repeat those numbers, making him top 6. And we got Rock Out saying this has got to be a simulation. We got this one. JSN is top 3. LOL. So everybody's all over the map on this, but I'm surprised there are more than just you two. There's one other, maybe 2. Does anybody else think JSN isn't playing top 5? Why? Let's avoid the kicking him out of the top 7 because I think that is bizarro. But if someone thinks, okay, yeah, I think he's going to be 5 or 6 or he's going to be right outside the top 5, I want to hear if there's any other people in the chat that think he won't be in the top 5. JSN survived everywhere he's gone, man. His crowded wide receiver room with Olave, Garrett Wilson, goes into Seattle, still performs. It wasn't like he was doing nothing. All the signs were there even before Kubiak really, had his kung fu grip on the situation. So I feel like, yeah, he was a 3rd rounder last year. I suppose if I was to try and argue Hammer and Husseini's stance, because you told me I had to, I guess I would say, he was a 3rd rounder last year. So all the people like me or whoever that are acting like this is crazy, we're only 1 year removed from him being a 3rd rounder. But I just think we've seen so much from him, and he's not somebody that is tripping and falling into the production. He's literally the epitome of what a number 1 wide receiver is, the way he carries himself on and off the field, the skill set, the hands, the precision, maybe he's not the fastest wide receiver in the league, but this quickness is there, the speed's there, the route precision's there, and I believe the backup QB situation is quietly in place. I do agree that getting rid or losing Kubiak is a problem. I've said that all offseason, but I think that doesn't hurt JSN. I think if anything, they throw a little more, and JSN, is pretty impossible to contain, and especially when you move him around all over. He plays slot. He plays in a fabricated slot sense when they line him in tight, even on the outside. He's running slot routes from an inline position. He's literally near impossible, like kind of like Cooper Kupp was in LA, where Cooper Kupp. Sorry, Bruce, call in. I'll go right to you, bro. In LA, where Cooper Kupp, you knew it was coming, but you just couldn't stop it the way they utilize him. But maybe they don't utilize him right. Maybe this OC is garbage. Go ahead, Travis, real quick, and then I'll go over to Bruce if he calls back.
Two quick things. One, he's like guaranteed to get 150 targets in that offense. Two, granted he was wide receiver 9, not wide receiver 2 like he was this year, but he did it with Geno and Sam Darnold, who aren't elite quarterbacks. They're, above average, good quarterbacks. And even Geno was starting to slip a little 2 years ago. And if you're going to argue, like you said, the argument that, last year is a third round pick and this and that, well, then you have to argue that for everyone else in the top 10, Pickens, and you can argue it for London, and you can argue, JJ fell off this year. You can pick something out about everyone to argue, but I mean,
this turned into a JSN debate.
He's done it everywhere he's gone.
Let's get it back on track a little bit. Who else is on the phone line real quickly? And I don't mind if someone wants to argue. I guess Bruce hung up. Bruce, call in if you want to talk. I'm sorry you waited so long. I guess so. Rice over. Wow. So Rice over JSN is more so the debate we should have had tonight for Hammer and Luis. Hammer and Husseini. Luis, I don't know where Luis. Are you still in the chat?
Yeah, he's complaining because you
what are you saying, Luis? Poor Bruce. Go ahead, Travis. Luis, what's going on with you today?
Bruce wasn't on the line anymore. He had hung up.
Yeah, he had hung up a while ago. But I don't know. It's crazy we've gone to this extent to where we're talking about Rice and JSM. But man, I mean, you guys aren't alone. There's one or two at least people in the chat that think that JSN could drop off.
I want the number one pass catcher on the Kansas City Chiefs offense over a brand new system with Sam Darnold at the helm. JSN, he's insanely talented. I'm not saying he's not a good receiver. You have to take into account environment, age, everything.
Yeah.
And that works against him, unfortunately. Yeah. Even though he's absurd. Like, I'm not saying the guy's not a freak.
The thing is, we'll see what happens with Rice this offseason. If Rice gets paid $40 million a year because he's wide receiver 3, and honestly, like, I'm not arguing with you guys about Rice. Clearly, this is a Rice channel. We're a Rice people. All of us together are Team Rashi Rice. He's going to the freaking league. The only debate we're having here at all is just how high do we have Rice and JSN, and we're not in line with JSN, but we're in line with Rice pretty much. Rice is going to get paid to get the bag. He's getting a $40 million deal if he survives the year, because we all think if he survives the year and plays 17 games or even remotely close, he's going to catch 100 plus receptions. He's going to have 1,300, 1,400 yards and probably 12 plus touchdowns. And he's going to be inside the top 5 wide receivers, just like Pickens was. And he's going to get $39, $38, $40 million per year. The question is, will the Chiefs pay that? Husseini, you know the organization best. Are the Chiefs going to pay $40 million a year? Like, what happens? Do they tag him and he's upset and he holds out? Like, predict what happens in the offseason if he has 12 touchdowns, 105 receptions, and 1,410 yards.
I think they would pay him close to $40 million. I don't think it would quite reach the 4. I think 38. Let's just, these are all hypotheticals, but let's say like the numbers that you just presented plus, let's say good behavior, no more problems, stay out of trouble, just a good, like he's focused, you can tell he's locked in, and he has this kind of season. Yeah, I can see them him agreeing to like 35, 37 million deal, because I mean he knows that's probably the best he's ever gonna get,
Is it though?
He's not gonna go somewhere else. Maybe.
What if he's wide receiver 3?
Oh, if we're talking,
will they pay him that? Will they pay if he let's say for hypothetical reasons he was commanding 40 mil. I'm not saying he will, but you guys got to remember that when Puka signs his extension, Olave might get his, and Olave is going to maybe not count because he'll probably have to go lower because of the concussions. But let's say Puka gets
Rice?
Let's say
that argument.
Because
why would Olave have to go lower than Rice?
Because of concussions. He's had but he's had
injury and criminal problems.
But for NFL concussions it depends. If he gets through this whole season healthy, that'll be 2 years removed. And if he gets his extension next offseason, like if the Saints decide to wait, then I could see it happening. Like I could see him and Rice getting similar money. But I think if you were signing him now when he's had 1 year since all of that mess, I think that they're like the Cowboys are trying to be about Pickens. Prove it. Go. I don't think they're willing to. They'll probably tell him, you want to wait, we'll pay you more. You want to do it now, we're paying you $34 million, $33 million.
Okay, yeah, all right. From that standpoint,
I mean, 4 NFL concussions.
Next year, sure.
4 NFL concussions, not 4 total, like 4 NFL. I get several in college too. But let's just say Olave gets $34 million, but that doesn't necessarily move anything. Let's say Puka Nacua gets $43 million. And let's say Bijan and Gibbs both get some astronomical number here in the coming months because they'll get extensions, or at least one will this offseason. And it just moves everything up, right? And so next offseason, Rice commands 40 or 39. Would the Chiefs pay that?
I think they would. I think they would because my eyes is like they know they have something good here. They saw it. Like, where are they going to find something for cheaper that would do the same amount of production or maybe better or whatever? Like, it's not like they can. I mean, at that point, they're probably winning a lot of games. They'll be drafting late. It's not like they can grab like a top 2, top 3 receiver or something, and. So I don't know. I mean, anything's possible, but if you're having that kind of performance,
the show has just been extended 5 minutes.
So not everyone's Jerry Jones, and they act the way he does. A lot of the Chiefs are very professional, and they're going to work it out. They want to talk to him, sit down with him. Hey, listen, let's figure something out where we can pay you exactly what you want, but we can kick the money, down, kind of like what we did with Mahomes or whoever, because they're a very smart team and they're counting and all that. And so, yeah, I just think that they'll figure a way. I don't think – because I feel like if they really didn't want Rice at this point, Rice has given them a million reasons to just tell them, basically tell them to kick town. But they clearly like him. Like, I don't know really what it could be, but I just see that they really like him, and they'll figure something out and get him signed. Because, I don't know.
Chiefs, I could almost –
Kelsey's on his way out.
I'd be willing to bet – like if I had to, like if you said, hey, you have to make a wager on a team winning a Super Bowl and maybe a chance at 2 in the next 5 years, I think the Chiefs are the pick. I think that, Walker gives you at least 2 years, maybe 3. And if not, Emmett Johnson, I love. If Rice can keep it together, stay healthy, get the bag, I think the Chiefs are going to be so dangerous for the next 2 to 4 years. I think they're going to be back to where they were. Everyone's going to hate them again because they're just such a tremendously good team from top to bottom. The fact that anybody thinks the offensive line is trash is uneducated. No offense, Angry Bruce, if you're out there. But uneducated on this topic, not uneducated in general, but you're biasly against the Chiefs no matter what. The fact that you were in here berating Husseini right before the NFL draft or on draft day, that if they don't take you're crazy, they're going to take offensive linemen. And now instead of saying, hey, Husseini, you're right, you called this, it's like, oh, now it's just you turning to Mahomes getting hurt, which is crazy talk. But Yeah, the Chiefs are going to feed families. Man, this is going to feed families. We just need Rice to stay healthy. But I will tell you this. If Rice does not stay healthy or gets in trouble off the field again, he might be done. Like, as far as being a top 5 wide receiver, like ever again. Like, we're probably never going to consider him there again.
Right.
I think he would fall outside the top 15, 20 wide receivers. Like, let's say he got suspended for 6 games at the end of the year for something. He would literally not be a top 15, 20 wide receiver drafted. And that's crazy teeter-tottering. But, like I said, Achane, if Achane didn't stay healthy his second year, everyone would have given up on him all of a sudden. And look how good he is. That happens. There are trying moments where it's teeter-tottering and the player wins. So hopefully this is a winning story. I know Rice is a questionable character to a lot of people, and I would agree with you. No one called him a coward more than when he ran off the freeway and left a mom and child hurt on the freeway. Thank God they weren't hurt bad, or his whole life would have changed. You don't walk away from something like that as long as they were okay, and they were. But I do sense that he is not like he hangs out with the wrong people. That situation was full of pressure, which he caved to. And he has paid his dues according to the league and everything else. So fresh start. I don't think he's somebody that's out to try and do bad in the world. I think he's made horrible decisions. And I know a lot of people will say, hey, all the things his ex-girlfriend accused him of. How many of you, if I called your ex-girlfriend right now on the phone line, would get a raving review about you and not a whole bunch of stories? So we don't really know what's true about that whole situation that went on with his ex. So I don't know what he is as a person outside of the bad things we've seen. But I kind of believe, at least call me a human being, I guess. I kind of believe maybe his story is going to be good going forward, but we'll see. Let me go over to Hammer. Or go ahead, Hammer, real quick, and then go to Travis, and then I'll go to Husseini, and then
I was just going to bring up, because I know probably everyone, where's Puka? My 2 reasons are Stafford is 2 years max, and that is a massive hit.
I'd say 1 year.
I'd
say 1 year max.
Really, the more troubling thing is, yes, I know we've had this. Rice has had issues. The mental collapse of Puka is
bad.
Very alarming. Biting a woman and it's
bad.
There's more than meets the eye. So for that reason, and Matthew Stafford, I'm out.
Yeah, he's Puka. We've been sounding the alarm on Puka's mental situation for well over a year, and people thought we were crazy. Do you know what most people said when this show would go live and say, this guy's not right? You know what the average response was? And when I say average, I mean like 90% of the reactions were, he's just living his life, bro. Like, he's out dating this, doing this, and like, stop it, man. You're just, the guy's having fun. Like, stop it. And we kept beating the drum. We kept sounding the alarm. No one wanted to listen to us. Now, can he get back on track? Maybe. If it was like a substance thing, maybe. And I don't want to get into too many
I've
insinuations
heard about that.
Yeah, since we don't really know, I don't want to insinuate anything, but just in general, I'd like to generally speak about it. If there's something that he can overcome, like it's something temporary or could be temporary, then I think he could potentially get back on track. But if this is actually something more like he's taking headshots and you can't put the genie back in the bottle in that case, there's no talking to a player that's literally had their personality change based on the aggressive ways that the NFL can change your behavior. And there's no putting the genie back in the bottle. This is all maybe him cleaning up the image. If it is the case where it is not putting the genie back in the bottle, this is all him trying to get paid. And the worst part about it, when you think about it, Hammer and Travis and whoever wants to, I'll go to Travis next. The worst part about it is if there is something off with him, what's the worst thing you could do? Hand him, $40 million per year. And $120 million guaranteed money so he can go out and just do whatever he wants. Like, that is probably the worst thing you can do. But hopefully he's still in there somewhere. Hopefully this is something that can be undone, but we just don't know. But imagine handing somebody that's about to unravel $40 million. I just wonder if the Rams will do it. Like, what's he have to prove to them to get back to the negotiation table? Do they have to see like, okay, you've been in meetings for X number of, depending on what it is. Again, I don't want to insinuate what it is, but is it like, do they need to see some sort of schedule and say, okay, let's let's talk to them at week and we can kind of see, right? You can kind of tell like what's going on with someone after you have constant conversations, because it's hard to hide stuff when you're actually not well and not right, especially if it's not temporary, or even if it's temporary or could be temporary, but it's so aggressively crazy that you just can't hide it. People cannot hide it when they're not in a good state. So maybe that's their barometer, is they just say, look, we can tell this was him just he was letting it get carried away. He was doing this, he was doing that. He isn't doing that anymore. He isn't doing this anymore. And we're going to write into his contract that, you're not allowed to do these things during the season, and you're not allowed to do these things during the season. You're not allowed to do these things during the off season. You can't go skydiving with Sweeney. You can't do this. You can't do that. Who knows what they're going to tell him? Husseini with a extender.
5-minute extender.
The show has just been extended.
All right, Travis.
Due to a $20.
Go ahead, then back over to Husseini, then to Hammer. And then if we have extenders, we'll keep going. But that's how we'll order it in case we're out of here. Go ahead. Husseini, thank you.
Just two real quick things. With Puka, the mental side of things is like, who knows? So it's a red flag. And I'm even more concerned. I just don't think there's longevity in the way he plays. Like Hammer put, he's in the 10th every game. We talk about that. And, so just those two things combined are just scaring me off.
And there was, real quick before we go to Rice, there was no channel. I can promise you, there is no channel that was covering Puka like this channel was from the head case perspective. And there was no one bold enough. I'm not as bold to kick him out of my top 12 or anything. Like I think Puka is top 12 at best, says Husseini. Thank you for the super chat. I'm not that down on him in the sense that I can't see the trade value and the potential of, but like I'm probably the only one out there that was beating a drum saying, guys, the red flags are too high for Puka in Dynasty, and people thought I was crazy. We said Stafford's got, I think, less than Hammer said. I think he's got maybe one, it might be 0.9 years left. Like, he could go down at any moment. So Stafford's got 1 year left before and think about it, there's two dynamics to Stafford. Stafford has 1 year left of maybe staying healthy and maybe 1 year left of being elite. So he could stay healthy and drop off, or he could get injured and be elite but get injured. So there's like two levels there. Then there's this guy's head case situation. Then there's the fact that he's the most injury-prone, likely wide receiver in the National Football League. At least it's in the top 10 wide receivers. And then on top of that, it's like, what if McVay retires? What if, because he's kicked that around years ago, and he might be quietly going, I'm going out with Stafford. That's why he's going so all in with Stafford consistently. That's why he doesn't care about Ty Simpson. I don't know if you guys noticed, he does not like Ty Simpson much at all. Even if he's involved in the decision, he's probably going, I'm not going to be here. Anybody quit or put in their 2 weeks notice? They're about to put in their 2 weeks notice at some place, and there's a project that's going to be like coming downstream a month from now, and you're like, oh yeah, that's a great project. You're not going to be there. Like McVay, it looks like he's not interested in anything that isn't now. And that might be a sign. There's so many levels to why Puka is a danger. Cooper Kupp was used and abused and discarded. And then they moved right on to Puka. And then they almost drafted Mekhi Lemon. This is a thing that they can do. And you might think, oh, no, Puka's different. Well, you probably said the same thing about Kupp. Kupp was the number one wide receiver in the league. He got discarded like that. He got used, abused, and broken. Yeah, it's over and over, and there's a replication going on. He's not he's special, but he's not so special that they happen to have the two number one wide receivers back to back and just replace one immediately with the other. They fabricated into a great player. He'll always be great. He's been constructed, but he was created in this situation and molded and sculpted. Okay, Travis, go ahead to Walker, you were saying.
No, Rice. I was just going to say, with Rice, I don't think he intends to do bad either. But my big concern with him is, like you said, the people that he's surrounded by. Is he willing to cut those people out of his life? Because it's like, a lot of times you have to completely cut them out. You can't be like, oh, I'll hang out with them a couple times a year, because that's when those things happen. And so does he know where to draw those lines? So for both those reasons, though, that's why. And I'm higher on Rice. I think Rice, has a better chance to put it all together and not get hurt and not have another problem than Puka does. Where I was a little worried about the Rice thing a little more when the case was still open, but now that it seems to have gone by, it's a good sign. But that's why both of them get knocked down in my ranks, and I don't have either as a top 7. Like Rice, I think, is my 9 or 10, so that's really close. And then Puka's right behind. So,
and everybody should try and trade
close,
Puka for Rice plus some. And in the case, and I disagree with the JSN take for Husseini and Hammer, but if you guys truly believe that, trading JSN for Rice and a whole bunch more is certainly in the cards for you guys, and that's great news for you if you love him that much and you don't love JSN. But yeah, real quickly, unless we get another extender, which is no pressure, it is what it is. But go ahead, Hammer. Final thoughts. Then over to Husseini. Final thoughts. Then Travis, close it out. Go ahead, Hammer.
Yeah, just a name that is in my top 7, which again I guess speaks to Jason. Again, in 1 year of being in a relatively good offense, that's what Pickens did.
Oh, Pickens.
And he's been that talented. He just hasn't had the opportunity. All he has is upside.
It's an interesting thing is I wonder if like a team that has Puka and Pickens, you could trade like Puka for both and just give up something small to close the gap in the person's mind. Like you could definitely do something like that, and there are people out there that value Puka that much still. Like if somebody did happen to have her, it'd be a great situation. Luis dropping a hundo says, Smitty, I would like to extend this show an awful lot longer than it is right now. So, Luis, thank you very much.
Extender.
The show has just been extended 5 minutes due to a $20 super chat.
Luis.
Welcome home, Columbia. Beautiful, beautiful.
Like we were about ready to go, and now the show is going to go on for 25 more minutes. This is crazy, bro. Luis is crazy. Luis says, the people show the fantasy football to the moon. Go ahead, Travis. What's your deal with Travis? Travis, the floor is yours. Luis just he bought you a ticket to the stage. Luis.
Well, since we get time, I guess I'll bring up. I was going to bring up before London. I think if London stays healthy, he's going to have a massive season because I think one of two or Penix is going to be in there the whole season, and we already saw Penix can feed him.
It is kind of underrated.
I think people are writing two off a little too fast.
At least for
thing, so
providing
that's always there. But if he's on the field, he's always shown he can deliver the ball accurately. Which is all these guys need. So,
Luis, you calling in
I don't know
to debate any of this stuff? London, I think Travis is right on this one. London is we haven't mentioned London much at all tonight when we're talking about top 7, 8 wide receivers. He's young. He's what is he? 24. I think he's 20. We're always shocked when we see it. 20? Was he 24? Yeah, I think he's 24 point. I love on my site, if you go to the player pages, it has the point, 24.5 years old. That's so helpful because then you don't need to know the birthday.
25 in July.
25 in July. So
he's
young.
Right there with Pickens. Pickens is 25 too. Still,
yeah.
Right.
There's reason to worry because of Stefanski, but again, when Fannin was the 5th best tight end and he plays wide receiver, Fannin plays wide receiver. He's not. Fannin was not a tight end really for Tommy Rees, offensive coordinator of the Browns, who's now the offensive coordinator of the Falcons. And Stefanski was his head coach in Cleveland, and Stefanski brought him over to Atlanta, for those that don't know. So it is Stefanski, head coach Tommy Rees again, replication. But think about what they didn't have in Cleveland that they now have in Atlanta. And if Tommy Rees can do a lot with Stefanski getting in the way, because he's such a bad quarterback decision maker. He's really awful. He's dreadful. He thought that I always forget his name because he's so forgettable. The quarterback he drafted ahead of Dylan Gabriel. It's because Dylan and Gabriel, it's like two first names. It just drives me nuts to say. I can't remember it all. Dylan Gabriel, very forgettable person. This is a guy that Stefanski like wanted to like tank the team to not put Shedeur in and just, burn it down. Like that's how Stefanski coaches. It's ridiculous. But the great news and what makes this situation, we've said this all offseason, and Travis brings it back up as a great point and argument, is that Tua and Penix, you can't really screw it up if you're Stefanski because we like them both, and Tommy Reese is going to be able to, no matter which one Stefanski forces down his throat, is going to be able to allow this offense to matriculate the football down the football field. And London's going to be his Fannin. Everyone just thinks it's going to be Kyle Pitts because they played the same position. Tommy Reese didn't have anybody. He had to use Fannin as his receiver. London is the one that could really take this thing to the top 5. And I think that we're neglecting London in this conversation. I think we should have been mentioning him a lot more, to be honest.
Well, so I have him 8 in Dynasty and 9. I have Rice 9. And I know obviously Hammer and Husseini disagree with that, but I'm curious where, if we have time or if that's all right, curious where they would have London Rice for Dynasty.
Hammer says if you need a dome.
First of all,
hold on. Can I read your comment? Can I read your comment real quick?
I mean,
if you need a dome,
bring up a dome.
Yeah, he said if you need a dome to support your QB, he's not the guy.
Well, that's the beauty. He's in a warm weather division now, so he'd barely play any cold games.
The fact that someone even brings that up as like to support someone, that
he's
just shows zero faith in that guy.
That's like a Stroud argument. That's like a
Penix.
That's like the kind of argument someone would try and cook up for like Stroud or Bryce Young or. But he's got a dome.
I mean,
he'll be okay.
That's actually mind blowing. But sorry.
What was that? What was that about? What quarterback?
I was saying I think Tua dropped off physically and mentally.
Oh, okay. So it was about Tua. I wasn't sure what you were even saying.
Yeah,
and he was addressing that now that he's in Atlanta, who plays in a dome. So again, that doesn't put it over the edge for me.
Well, I do think I thought it was just a funny comment. but I
don't need that.
I think Tua though, to support a little bit of the Tua argument, to just say I don't think he's winning necessarily games, which is not what we're worried about anyway. Although staying in the lineup losing does present problems, but then again we like Penix Jr. So I think
last year.
Yeah, I think what we got to look at with Tua is that he could throw for 4,000 yards. Like we know he can throw the ball. Like it doesn't mean that it's always the best. It doesn't mean, but we know he's not somebody that's like a 3,300 yard or 2,900 yard passer. Like he can sling the ball down the field for good or bad. And kind of like Winston in a way. Like Winston's not somebody you're winning, a Super Bowl with, but like when it's fantasy time, it's not the worst thing in the world to get him in the room. So I think from an argument of Hammers, like Tua is not a winning quarterback or somebody you should be wanting as a fan to quarterback your team. I think you're 100% right on that. But I do think the combination of Penix and Tua being forced to play, let's say Stefanski's forcing Tua to play, this is probably the safest environment or situation we could come up with, that Stefanski's going to have a tough time, I think, destroying when Tommy Reese can at least have Tua throwing for 4,000 yards, throwing for 30 touchdowns or 29 whatever it ends up being, that can feed London exactly what London needs. In Penix Jr., like, to be honest, and I was very high on Penix Jr. as a rookie. I still like him, but I don't know what I make of him now. Same thing with him. I'm not, let me merge Rock out in. I'm not exactly sold on Penix Jr. being the long-term answer or surviving, because if he's not winning, he doesn't survive. But I think the combo is pretty safe, Like, it could be a lot worse for fantasy football wide receivers than Tua. But I think you're right, Hammer. Your point is more so about as a quarterback. We are making excuses for him 100%. but I don't know. It's not that bad. I think with what Tommy Reese did with Shador when Shador was set up to fail without any practice reps with even his center, like Stefanski's a moron. We'll see. Real quickly, comment Hammer, and then over to Travis for a comment, and then I want to.
So I guess just so how much would like a Burrow or an Allen go up if they, just played in the dome?
I'm not saying Tua is going to go up. I'm just saying Tua and Penix together. We know Penix can feed London, and we've seen that Tua can deliver the ball. I don't even know if Tua will be that good, but he can chuck it.
What Travis is saying is that we put Tua, we have to put training wheels on Tua. Travis isn't saying we don't. But to get the most out of the QB room, it's nice that it's in a dome because he does need that. He needs training wheels. But if you put Tua and Penix together, it's the safest thing we could cook up. Then give Stefanski one quarterback and then one we hate, and then he makes the wrong decision. So at least we have somebody that can throw. Penix probably less yards than Tua, but we know Penix has a good connection with London, so I'm fine with that. And we know the Bijan functions well with Penix Jr., so I'm fine with that. So everything's good in the hood with Penix under center. But if Stefanski forces Tommy Reese's hand, we've got a dome, okay? He's got the Forrest Gump, training wheels, stilt things on his legs. We're good to go. Put a helmet on him. Put a double helmet on him, and then send it. The guy needs a guardian cap, Hammer. We're of course we're protecting the hell out of the guy. We got to guide them. Got to put the rails on the bowling alley, lanes.
Yeah, I guess if we're even talking about this, then I don't want London in my 7.
It's all right.
It's just
well, then part of that's probably Stefanski more than anything, to be honest. But I understand, and that's probably why London gets forgotten, is because we're all a little bit worried about the unknowns of the QB room, to be honest. So it's fair to look at it from your perspective, but I was just saying what Travis is trying to say is that at least we have Stefanski handcuffed to a QB that does play better and that don't. It's kind of like Goff. If we were forced to talk about Goff and St. Brown, we don't have a choice to swap out Goff. And so Goff playing in warm weather games or indoors is very beneficial to St. Brown. So the conversations
terrible away from home.
Yeah, terrible away from home. Those conversations had to be had because we don't really have a choice. But if you're avoiding London for a lot of other reasons as well, it makes sense. But they're all.
I asked the question. I was curious where Hammer and Husseini have them ranked. So, and I guess you don't have to give me a number, but would London be top 15 or? I'm not even arguing. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I am curious too.
I would.
Yeah,
I
would
put
be top 15.
Okay, Luis.
I would put London top 11 for me.
Okay,
right,
you guys.
That's right under Puka.
Yeah,
because I have Puka.
It's understandable. I definitely am higher, but I get it. There's been turmoil that keeps striking that room, but turmoil keeps striking Rice too. But I get it, man. There's a lot of close players too. When you throw in freaking Pickens now above him, you keep Collins or JJ St. Brown. It is hard to rank London. I think I've London ranked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9 or 10. I'm defending it and I'm still 9 or 10. I get it, but it's a nice 9 or 10. It's a risk kind of baked in, I think. All right, Luis, thank you for extending the show. The floor is yours for a little bit since you dropped a wad. What topic are you wanting to call in about? Was it the Mahomes top 4 QB dynasty? Was it Walker and Emmett Johnson cuffed together top 7 running back? Was it Rashee Rice top 7? Was it Puka Nacua not being ranked as high as anyone else in the top 5, 6, 7? Or was it JSN being removed from Hammers and Husseini's top 7? What say you?
Honestly, I just left the party, so I have no
voice
affiliation with nothing. I'm just here.
Okay.
Honestly.
All right.
But it's if I have the floor, I hopped on, and I said, hey, let's do it. I guess I don't know.
All right, so let me ask you. I'll just ask you a simple question so it's easier for. JSN, top 5 wide receiver, Dynasty?
Nope. No, sir.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
Honestly, no. Yeah, I mean, you can say whatever you want. But Chase, CeeDee Lamb, Ibuka, JJ, I don't know the one. It's not Buka. Who the heck was it?
Hey, HGF,
earlier.
Relax in the chat if you want to stay, HGF. Okay? Calling out my mods and telling them this and that. Like, relax. Okay, so let me ask you this. George Pickens or JSN Dynasty?
That's what it is right now.
What?
That's what it is right now. Sorry. Like, my boy's been going all day. It's been going away all day. Like, I've been sick.
Yeah, we can't.
So, like, I
hear you.
really can't.
Okay, no problem. Time.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
Clear.
So, as it is right now. You hear me?
We can barely hear you.
All right. As it is right now.
You just got now.
As it is right now, bro. I literally, like, this is my boys. Like, I wish I could.
Bro, don't worry about it. I don't want you like taxing your voice. You gotta probably work tomorrow.
No. I only work Monday to Friday. Some of us,
okay.
We only work Monday to Friday. It's okay. Like, it is.
All right. How about you just throw numbers out? How about we just do it like that? Number Puka Nacua, wide receiver. What? That way, simple, short for you. You don't ruin your voice.
7.
Go ahead. 7. Drake London. London. Did he say
8, 9, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Okay. George Pickens.
He might be top 10.
Okay.
No, my bad. Top 5. Sorry.
Top 5. Yeah, you guys are all over the map. I like that. I like it's bold. It's bold. I like it.
That's a great point. Like, because George Pickens did more last year than most of that. He did a top 5 performance.
He's great.
He did it in the Cowboys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's great, bro. It's fantastic.
It's like the whole team, like Hammer. I like to talk Mets to him, and like, it's doing a lot of things he says, but when he says something, he has conviction to it. It's pretty good.
All right. Sergio says Carnell Tate to the moon. I like Carnell Tate. Luis, I know you're big on Lemon. What?
I'm not.
We can barely hear you.
Anti-Lemon.
Oh, I thought you liked Mekhi Lemon.
No, I don't like Lemon. I don't like Jason. I don't like a lot of the players.
You like Tate?
Honestly, I don't.
You like Tate?
No.
Okay, damn.
I don't Tate. No.
He doesn't like anything. Okay.
No. I like a lot of players. I like Devontae. I like Devontae Smith.
Okay. I think Devontae Smith took a hit. I don't understand why his value went up on Underdog, which is crazy to me because it's not explainable. They added 2 pass catchers. They're going to do more damage than A.J. Brown could do by himself.
It doesn't have to be explainable, but the consensus says that. And I'm not going with the consensus. I'm just saying what.
No, you loved him. Loved him.
For sure, yeah. I might be wrong, but
Luis, can I hear you sing the Dak Attack song with no voice?
I'm not doing that.
Oh, go Dak Attack. Go Dak Attack.
That's crazy.
I want to hear you hit that high note. Dak attack.
Oh, you want me to do it?
Try it.
Just for you,
Right,
Smitty.
go.
Just for you. Go Dak attack. Go Dak attack. Hey, George Pickens.
If Denny were here, he'd hit it high.
Hey,
All right, CeeDee Lamb missing 5. Yeah, CeeDee Lamb is definitely, like Hammer says, missing 5 games, still over 1,000 yards. I do wonder where CeeDee Lamb is 1 calendar year from today, because if Lamb can stay healthy, I know Pickens was fantastic. He'll still be fantastic, but Lamb also went through like a mental fumble where he was dropping the ball, and he was in his own head and everything like that. And then he jumped back and he had like a big game and everything seemed to be right in the world. But CeeDee Lamb, if I've got Nakua or I've got if I had JSN and I doubted him, which I don't, but I'm just, for those of you out there, it seems like there's more than one. More than I thought tonight in the live stream that would doubt JSN. But if you trade Puka Nakua or JSN for a doubted CeeDee Lamb right now, you're getting a haul with it. Not a Brees Hall. Like, you're getting the bad word. We're getting a bunch of stuff with it or some upgrade. Maybe Hall. But I think you could. CeeDee Lamb should be bought low. And JJ. We did.
Hey, Smitty, real quick. The 5th player, Malik Neighbors, he's above JSN. JSN, he might sneak into the 6, 7. I don't really.
Well, we have JSN like top 3. We have JSN top 3. I think the majority of everybody.
That's your opinion. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of the show. We all get to debate and we all get to say what we believe, and that's. Some of us are wrong, some of us are right. And then we can look back and 5 months from now, 6 months from now, and we can say, hey.
Well, I was saying it because I thought you were saying Neighbors you liked high, and I was saying, yeah, well, that we were in good company because we all like them too. Are you saying you don't like Neighbors, or are you saying you like them high?
No, you're original. I love Neighbors over JSN. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I'm saying you're in good company because we did have them like
top 5. Why is he moving forward?
I think JJ. Man, I disagree with that, but I disagree with that JSN's not top 5. But that's what makes the world go round.
That's because
I agree.
It's a situational thing, because Seattle is like they do every year, like not every year, but like they do every 10 to 12 years. They have the perfect situation unfold, and JSN is a great wide receiver. Do you believe JSN is better than Jeremiah Smith? Do you believe that JSN is better than Emeka Ibuka? Do you believe that?
Yes.
I mean, maybe you do.
Mm-hmm.
We can go.
I think Jeremiah Smith could be better than him, but I'm certainly not going to put him there yet because you don't need to. But I would say that is JSN better than Ibuka?
We're in the dynasty channel right now.
As much as
the perception.
I know where we're at. I know where we're at.
Sure.
I'm saying that I still would not rank. I'm trying to answer it. I would not rank Jeremiah Smith over JSN, Jamar Chase yet because you don't need to. And I would definitely say that but ranking him that high before he ever plays a snap, it's not necessarily something that we're estranged from. Like we've done this stuff before. But I do believe
2 years ago, you would have been saying the same thing. MHJ is going to be better than JSN. It's fantasy football. We don't know.
But that's what I'm saying. I'd be careful.
No, you're right. You're 100% right about that.
But I'd be careful. Sorry. I'd be careful with where I put like Jeremiah Smith when I have top 1 to 2 wide receivers sitting in front of me. But what I'm trying to say is I think that I forget what I was going to say. What were we talking about?
JSN top 5.
Yeah, but there's something specific I was going to say. I don't know. Damn, it was on the tip of my tongue. I don't know. I lost it now. I lost it.
That's crazy. Yes, sir. You were saying sorry.
No, I lost it. I forget what I was saying. But anyway.
I know. It's crazy how that works. But yeah.
I know. You were saying, is JSN better than Buka? I love Buka, man. I think Buka's got the potential to be a top 5 to 7 wide receiver, but JSN, as I just ranked in my board here, I have him tied for Jamar Chase as the number 1 dynasty wide receiver. I think that Neighbors and JJ are so undervalued, and JJ specifically, this is probably the highest you're going to see a content creator have JJ in Dynasty. I almost guarantee that, because there are everybody and their mothers writing this guy off because he's older, and JJ doesn't, with everybody worried about his QB situation. I feel like this is, from a content creation standpoint, this is super high on JJ. Lamb, I think this is a little higher than you defined on Lamb. I think Pickens, this is probably about where maybe a touch higher or right around there. I think that, and we did give London the respect, actually. I was thinking we left him off, but we did talk about London in this top 7 argument.
No, we talked about him.
Okay. Yeah.
But
no, Buka,
I was just making the point. I think he could have a big year.
Buka could definitely climb up to 6, 7.
Real quick, if you don't mind me interrupting you real quick, Tyson or Buka, because if I recall, you did not make your decision about Tyson or Buka a while back.
Yeah.
How do you perceive it now that the Tyson went to the Saints, and that was actually after Tyson went to the Saints?
Yeah, I think.
But moving forward,
I think Buka by a hair, but I think I want shares of both for sure. But probably Buka by a hair until Tyson gets.
So different leagues.
Yeah, but if I had to pick one, it's Buka. But if Tyson can get solo,
yes, sir.
And they, let's say, trade Olave or let him walk or whatever the hell they end up doing with him, they could tag him and trade him next year, or they could extend him. There's a lot of different scenarios, but I think that if he was a solo guy, I would put him dead even. I think that much of Jordan Tyson. But Jordan Tyson's got a lot lesser value, so if you were to do some sort of Buka Tyson dance, you get a lot more with Tyson, so there's an opportunity to trade down and get a boatload more. But I think you got to put Buka ahead of him, given Buka is the number 1 wide receiver in his offense. He's got Baker there for the long term. Bucky, I love the system. I love everything. The Saints are exciting too, though, but I think like with my Jeremiah Smith versus Jamar Chase or JSN or whoever you have in your top 3, I'm taking the same caution, trying to throw Tyson immediately next to Buka's and Pickens and Lamb. And that's where Buka is for me. He can climb right up to this number 7 spot. If you said you want St. Brown or Buka in Dynasty startup, I mean, you could argue this year St. Brown, for sure, is safe and everything. But 1 calendar year from now, you wonder what that 1 year added on is going to do to your mental capacity to pass on Buka, and especially if Buka takes the next step. So you almost have to be presumptuous here with the Buka St. Brown. But I don't know. In Dynasty, don't you think, Travis, we're getting a lot more with Buka in a Buka for St. Brown Dynasty trade right now? I would think so. I think we're getting a decent haul.
And it's funny you say that, because I have St. Brown and then Buka right after. And admittedly, like you said, with Rice and other players, I know I don't have to draft Buka as I think I had him as my 6th or 7th wide receiver, but that's how high I am for Dynasty.
Well, I'll tell you what, to everybody out there, and this goes for Hammer, Husseini, Luis, if you guys are not high on JSN or Puka, and I'm not high on Puka either, so I'm in the same exact boat with Puka. Like, we've been preaching this for like a year and a half, 2 years. You sell Puka now, or you wait and roll the dice that things don't get worse for him, I suppose, but you sell him now, and honestly, you're getting, even with the shaky landscape of Puka right now in Dynasty, you probably still get a Puka and something. I think you still get Pickens and something. I think even in shaky ground, I think people are like, Puka is still somebody that you're going to advance him that, I think. Like, if you're trying to trade Puka and someone says, oh, I want to buy him at a discount, I don't think they're going to say that. I think everyone knows you're either going to be like, I don't trust him, or you're just paying it, because I don't think anybody's expecting to get a deal. I really don't. I think you're just going to have people not want to trade for him, and that's it. They're not going to sit there and go, oh, I should be getting a head case discount. I don't think that's out there. I think you still can get Pickens plus a lot.
Yeah, people still want him. I needed a quarterback in a 1 QB league, and the guy had Drake May and Josh Allen, and it was before the draft, so it's a little less now, but I got Josh Allen and Olave before the draft for Puka. I'm still happy with that because I get Allen. But I mean, so you can get a lot.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially if you're not going for a quarterback, you know.
Hammer says Neighbors in his rookie season alone showed he might be the most pure talented receiver. I agree. He could have the injury risk that that too. But man, if he stays healthy, and I don't think you can write off a player that played through the toe injury. That wasn't really. It could have prevented him downstream a little bit, but guy played through the toe injury and then tore his ACL, which I think the situation didn't help. We're trying to catch these hospital balls on the sideline, and someone could say it's a freak ACL injury or not, but this one was more so, I would say, almost his fault and the hospital ball environment's fault more than anything, because he went up laterally and jumped up, and it might look easy on TV. We're sitting in our couches and we're watching a player jump up and land on his side, and for us it feels like he's landing on a high jump mat.
Freakish.
When he hits the ground, like boom, boom, no big deal. But your knees are hitting the hard ground. It's like hitting almost cement. And when Neighbors jumped up laterally like this, horizontally, and landed on his knees, he did put himself in that position to tear the ACL. So he's got to kind of worry, he's got to dial that back and not play so reckless and put his body on the line, kind of like a player jumping into the stands to save a ball without knowing where he's going to land. Like that's what Neighbors was doing on that play. But man, there probably is no player that looked more fluid at the wide receiver position in the entire National Football League than Malik Neighbors. He looks the most fluid at the position of any player in the league, period. Like Jamar Chase is the only player that's right there. Nakua's just scrappy, Lamb is a gazelle, like Randy Moss was in a way, like just, going down looking majestic. Jackson Smith and Jigba is very similar to that. He does, a lot of great, things, but he's not like Neighbors looks like he's just if you were to design a wide receiver in a lab, it would be Malik Neighbors. It would be Jamar Chase, the way that they operate and run. So from a physical perspective, I would say Neighbors is probably the most talented, potentially wide receiver in the National Football League. I agree with that 100%. Sure am holding my breath, though. I'm sure, as a lot of others are, that he, with a quarterback like Dart, with an offensive coordinator like Matt Nagy calling plays, and then the injury, that he can not end up putting himself, kind of like Tyson did by running the 40 too early for the combine. I just don't want Neighbors to do something that's not his fault, but he rushes it, and then he ends up just looking like he's a disaster. Like we really need to make sure he's good to go. Otherwise, I don't want him out there. And has he had setbacks? I don't know. It has seemed like he's been not ahead of schedule, but he could very quickly catch up in his athleticism and youth and just the ability to probably heal quicker than other players. I imagine he's just so athletic that he could just surpass the point that he's at now real quickly. So it's a tough thing. We got a lot of time. We have all of June. We have all of May, June, July, August. We have literally 4 more full months before he needs to step out onto the field, and some weeks. 4 months and some weeks. That's a long time. Some ACLs, people have literally run full speed at 6 months. He's got 4 more months. That's a long time. Okay. Let me go around the horn real quickly. Bruce, I'll Rock Out and Bruce. Did Bruce call back, or did he hung up and he never called back? I just have Rock Out on the line. I almost have Bruce and Rock Out finally on the line together, so I maybe wouldn't have confused them. Hammer, final thoughts, my boy, young man.
Yeah, I also don't want to short sell Jackson Dart. I know we don't like to talk college, but I mean,
we like to talk college.
The scheme he ran at Ole Miss, like he just happens to run, but he can make every single throw on the field.
Yeah.
And the fact that, again, Neighbors was doing that with Danny Dimes and DeVito, this could be pretty scary.
Yeah. I like Dart and Neighbors and Scatterboo. You couldn't get 3 more injury-prone monsters together if you tried. That is a wild trio. What do you think the odds are that they all stay healthy for the 2027 or 2026 season? Like if you're being realistic, they're so.
I guess we'll play the season, but I'm going to roll with them being healthy.
It's fun.
Fun. I think Neighbors. I don't even want to guess like what his targets per game would be if Vegas was to make. That would be.
He's gonna be so
insane.
good once he's healthy. We could see him have like a 2-part season, like where it's like kind of not as great as it could be initially, and then it's almost like a second year kicks in, and he has like an out of this world second half of the year. But hopefully he's just ready to go, and even when he's kind of like trying to get his feet under him, maybe he still like has a couple, maybe he gets fed scores and scores like 4 touchdowns in the first 6 games, and that helps him survive like maybe some potential rough start, and then all of a sudden he has like 100-yard games mixed with the touchdowns and ends up with like 15 touchdowns, 1,400 yards and 120 receptions, and really didn't do anything, great in weeks 1 through 4 or something like that. Like he's that good. He's so good. I mean, look at JT. Look how hopefully has the inverse of JT's season, where JT was literally the best back in football, and then he kind of tailed off at the end. Hopefully that, we see some production for sure that makes him low-end wide receiver 1 or high-end wide receiver 2 valuable for the first month or so of football, and then he becomes the number 1 wide receiver for the rest of the year. Like that would be amazing outcome. I'm excited about him. I'm a little nervous about him, but I'm excited about him. He was obviously a supernova last year, and it was pretty disappointing. But we're still on board, and I have the Neighbors video, which actually will play on the way out. Which is, have you ever seen the Neighbors video, Hammer?
Yeah.
It is like
I love it.
What pick did they have? The number 3 overall pick, and then they took Dart later. But I remember I made the video. It's like with the number 3, I think it was 3 overall pick, the Giants select, boom, and then Luis dropping another 25 minutes. How are we gonna? I don't blame you guys if you can't stay on for another 25 minutes. I'll just keep talking. But
I got a topic after we finish with this one.
Luis, jeez. Why did Luis hang up? Oh, his voice. Yeah, thank you, Luis.
More so a question. Yeah, thanks, Luis.
Yeah, go ahead, Travis. Thank you, Luis. Luis dropping a wad with no voice.
Just curious, like I was asking about London. Unless you want to save this for another show or something, let me know. But if
5-minute extender.
Rank, maybe just a range, but where you would, now that the draft is over, where Tyson, Tate, Lemon, maybe Casey Concepcion too, but Tyson, Tate, and Lemon were the ones I was curious about, where people rank them.
Amongst the other wide receivers?
Yeah, as wide receivers, yep.
Okay, so Tyson, Tate, Lemon. So I think once we get through the, we'll call it like London, Nico, and then you got everybody up here. And so this is like where you kind of draw a hard line and say, okay, we got Pickens up here, right? I just want to make sure everyone knows who's up here. Pickens. So when we get to, and then obviously, Rice is up here and all the other players. I just want to make sure everyone knows JJ's up there. If we get to, let's say, Wilson and Buka up here. So I would say Garrett Wilson, and who knows where he's playing, a year from now. I'm hoping he's not in New York, or he has Arch Manning throwing to him or something. Then you have, I guess you could say Ladd, right? And then you have potentially, Tet McMillan's in here. I'm not saying I won't slot them above Tet. I'm just putting the names that kind of come to mind right here. Devontae Smith is in this range. Not really in any particular order. Who else is in here? AJB we're gonna leave out because he's older. So I think this is kind of where, Adams and Evans are older, so I'm not putting them there. Burden's in this conversation right here as well. This is a great group, BTJ, to have this discussion. So where do I see Tyson, Tate, and Lemon? Lemon I have down here. I don't think he's anywhere with these guys. I think there's potential for it, but until I see it, I'm not thinking he's above Smith. I think Tyson, I would have to rank, like, Burden has more value than Tyson and Tate. Tet, I don't know that I would play the game of I'm drafting the player with more value and I'm trying to make trades, or I think I'd take Tyson over Tet. And you could call me out on that. I don't care. I just think Tyson, I'd rather not play games. I want Tyson. Tate and Tet, I think, could be pretty close. I'd probably say I'd rather have Tate, but would I take Tate over Tet? Yeah. Not necessarily, but maybe. And I would take Tyson over Tet. So I think Tyson is certainly right here. The question would be, could I or would I swap Tyson or Ladd for Tyson, or Garrett Wilson for Tyson, Burden for Tyson? I think the market gives me more than just Tyson to do this, but I think in a sense I do want Tyson more because I believe in him. I truly do. And I'm taking advantage of the market
as you want them.
Yeah, I would say this.
Them as you like them.
I would say Burden probably, does deserve to be right up here with Garrett Wilson. And then I think after this break of Ladd, Garrett Wilson, and Burden, give or take somebody I may have missed that you're thinking's not here that I do or whatever, I would say Tyson over Ted, over Devontae Smith, over BTJ. BTJ's capable of climbing up, but right now this is where he's at.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I'm missing anybody. Higgins, JMO, none of those guys are ranking above Tyson for me. So that puts Tyson probably at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, maybe like top 14 to 15. And I think he's got top 12 capability easily. So I think that's pretty fair. Go. You were saying something here?
Yeah, and
I was going to say to BTJ, I am going to put him over because of what I've seen him do in the season, especially as a rookie, which was almost unheard of. And again, it's dynasty, so the potential of being somewhere else, but pure talent and just being able to dominate. I mean, if anyone questions that, just watch his rookie season.
Yeah, we got another $20 super chat from Luis, who he's not happy with the 19 minutes on screen. He says, "Give me 5 more." Hey, let me go to Rockout real quick, who's been waiting so patiently. I'm sorry, Rockout. Rockout, do you want to add something right here, and then I'll go back to Hammer because I think he was going to say something else. I just don't want Rockout to hang up.
So what do you think about Nico Collins with his soft tissue issues the last couple of years as far as dynasty goes?
Yeah, I mean that's part of why
I'm lower on Nico.
Yeah, Travis has been lower on him. I think that's part of why he's a little bit of a faller in redraft ADP even. And then you got the Stroud situation, you got the Houston offensive line, you got the same garbage coordinator. So there's a lot to not love about Nico if he's going to have kind of and I don't think he has a bad year. I think he's great at the 2-3 turn.
Yeah.
But if he went back to 12 or 13 overall, I think I'd be out because there's a chance he misses a couple games because of all that. He's constantly kind of banged up and injury prone, and then there's the worst offensive coordinator maybe that they could possibly have. They're just hanging on to. I don't know. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm thinking he might have some injury risk, and I would probably try to get him closer to the 2-3 turn, maybe 2.8 or something like that, just because the injury risk.
Yeah. By the way, we had some super chats that I didn't read. Simi Valley says, Luis to the moon. Sorry, Simi, if I didn't read that. Simi said, JMO. And then Simi Valley also said, I like JMO in Dynasty a lot. He will break out this year. Thank you. Simi, you still there? I'm sorry about the delay on that. Thank you for dropping those super chats over on the Rumble. Thank you, Rock Out. Anything else you want to add right now? You can stand on hold if you want, but I didn't know if you wanted to add anything else.
I got kind of a high up there, but I kind of got an early ranking one. Where would you rank Jeremiah Smith, even though he's not drafted?
Probably top 5, but I don't know if I put him 4 or 3. I could. I think I probably would. I think, yeah, definitely top 5. But Jamar Chase, JSN, and probably make him 3rd. I think I would, because I don't like Puka over him. I certainly
Neighbors and JJ.
Oh, Neighbors. I'm sorry, Neighbors. So I would go. Neighbors. So I'd go JSN, Chase, Neighbors, Jeremiah Smith. Sorry. Yeah, Neighbors 3. Because I had Neighbors 3 on my ranking.
I think there's going to be
thank you, Simi.
An argument that after the draft next year,
he's 1.
He could be 2 so fast, maybe even 1.
Yeah.
Dynasty circles can put him 1. He's really, really good.
Easily.
Let me go over to Husseini before he has to jump off, and then over to Hammer again real quick, and then over to Travis. Mute yourself, Rock Out, and you can just interrupt if you have something, but I know there'll be some reverb if you don't mute. But appreciate your Rock Out. Husseini, go ahead. Anything else you want to add? I mean, Luis keeps extending this party, so it's up to you if you want to throw another topic out there. Maybe, yeah, do whatever. Anything.
Yeah, no. I was just gonna list my top 12 real quick. Since we're still on this receiver topic. I have Chase, Neighbors, Lamb at 3, JJ, Rice, St. Brown. I have Buka at 7, Pickens, and then JSN at 9. I have Burden at 10, London 11, and then Puka and Nico.
Nice. Puka and Nico. Okay. Where did you have JSN at what?
Burden.
JSN at 9.
Jeez. I mean, I understand your guys' arguments. It's not that I don't understand it. It still shocks me. You know, that's normal.
Yeah.
I think it doesn't mean that you I mean, there's players that have been look at BTJ. If I would have, I'm not saying you guys are crazy, because if anybody would have come in after BTJ's number 4 rookie season and said BTJ is going to be trash, we would have said you're off your rocker. He did that as a rookie, and he ended up being trash. So, JSN was a 3rd round pick last year, and he became what he became, and I believe it's here to stay. But you're not insane for coming up with what is a hot take that JSN could be different with the Seattle situation. But for the record, I disagree with it. But I mean, I understand. I just look at JSN and he's so refined. I've seen players that have had worse wide receiver situations than he's going to have. He's still got a lot of the pieces together. I don't think that they're a Super Bowl repeating champion, I think they could miss the playoffs in a very competitive division and conference, but I still think they'll be good. They just won't be elite. They'll be good. And their defense, it'll still be good. It'll still be, field position will still be there. I love Milrow more than the average Bear. So I feel like the quarterback position is doubled up on. And I do think Price is going to keep defenses honest enough that it's going to be a little harder, I think, to just hone in on JSN this year. Not to mention the fact that they move him all over the field. Now, that could change with their new coordinator, but I have a feeling it won't. And he's just near impossible to double team the way that teams want to, because of the way he navigates and moves around. And really plays in that, like I said, manufactured slot, even when he's on the outside in tight, lined up in a way that he can run slot routes. He is just unstoppable to me. and his ability to catch in contested territories. And what I find a little shocking, to be honest, and Hammer, you can respond to this, why Hammer doesn't like him as much as I do, because we see eye to eye on Buka, and I think Buka's environmental situations that he overcame and really benefited from, being in those crowded wide receiver rooms and learning from everybody, enduring with everybody. Like JSN did come up the same way Buka did, in a crowded room, playing with the best of the best. Olave, Garrett Wilson, the list goes on and on. So I believe Buka and JSN are both built from a different, like, just competitive environment, like just steel, sharpening steel, that I think JSN and Buka are special in that way. Like they literally had to survive in the most competitive wide receiver rooms in college football that were more competitive than any wide receiver room in the NFL. Like both of them played in more competition in college than they ever will in the NFL. That's why Buka was so good in the time frame he was, in a crowded room. And so JSN's just, no matter what they throw at him, and he's not in a crowded room anymore, but no matter what they throw at him, the guy just delivers, man. I don't know.
Yeah, for me, it's not so much the player; it's more so the situation they're in. Like if you were to put JSN on the Bucks and Ibuka on the Seahawks, I would not really want much to do with Ibuka, and that would be all over. I'd be all over JSN if he had Baker.
I think Seattle's better than that.
That offense.
Yeah,
what's that?
I said
I situation proof.
Yeah, I think that Seattle, like I agree with that Seattle's going to regress. No doubt about it. Like I've said that all
run game too.
But I don't know. I mean, I don't think the run game. I think the run game could be better if they do hone in on just Price. But I do think that they're going to be, as a team, lesser. They're going to lose games. They're going to play from behind. But all that, I think, just feeds into JSN getting fed. I just don't. I think he's just elite. He's getting better, and his character, his work ethic, his drive, his determination, and how he plays. Like we mentioned earlier today, he finds ways to just run out of bounds. Like he's saving his body. He's so smart with how he plays. He's not a coward or anything. It's not like he's Tyler Lockett. Catch a ball and just dive down. Like I don't know if anybody's ever watched Tyler Lockett highlights. The guy will not get hit. He's scared to get hit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I hear you. But I'm just curious if you, Hammer, if you see the similarities that I'm mentioning with their.
I have two things to speak to that. But one is what I also, is kind of wild is that Jeremiah Smith is automatically top 5 because MHJ
Thank you, Mario.
Was one of the most highly, literally, like he was the next coming of God, and it didn't pan out. So before I'm going to put someone automatically in a top 5, I want to see him play an NFL snap. Because MHJ
at that size, that's the
yeah. I mean, I understand he's fast, but MHJ was the pedigree and his grade was out of this world, and he's not even top 20. So
I will say,
Jeremiah is Megatron to me.
Yeah, I will say though. Yeah, I agree with that too. But I also would say, to Hammer's point, if we could get back into our own that time where we were ranking MHJ, I mean, we might have said at that moment in time, MHJ and JSN, not sure which one's going to be better. Like we really, really liked MHJ that much, which is so disappointing, and it almost makes you like disappointed in yourself, And I'm not saying he's necessarily a lost cause yet, but will he ever be what we thought he could be? And part of it was his dad too. Like we really, bought in as a fantasy community into the pedigree of it and on top of everything else. But I will say, to Travis's point, because I agree with that point from Hammer, but from Travis's point of like in putting them side by side, there is the size, the speed. There's so much more that is locked in than there was with MHJ. but that stuff can get progressively better. Like just because MHJ was locked in then doesn't mean that we're not more locked in on Jeremiah Smith now. But to the point of like, would I rather have Jamar Chase? Would I rather have? I think that's smart because they're proven, and what you expect out of Jeremiah Smith, if it's Jamar Chase or for me JSN as well, or Malik Neighbors or whatever you want to say, like that's what you're shooting for anyway. So why not take it now? So I think once you get past the point where you can't say that anymore, like this would be what I want him to be is Jamar Chase. You don't have that. Like if you're just saying, let's say about Pickens, like I want him to be Pickens good. I think the expectations he'll be better than Pickens. So I think you would take the gamble. But if you're saying I want him to be Jamar Chase good, you might as well just take Jamar Chase and not avoid the risk. So I think we're like
he was just making a top 5 rankings, and I'm not. Again,
I could put him 5 easy.
Okay.
But I couldn't put him 1 or 2 though, or probably 3 to the point I just made. But like I think 5 is where we start getting into that place where you can't say I'll risk it to get better than Lamb, or I'll risk it to get better than St. Brown, or whatever you want to, whoever you want to put at 5. But I think with Neighbors, Chase, and whoever you have in your top 3, for me, it's JSN. I think if you don't have JSN in your top 5, then it should be even easier to have Jeremiah Smith in the top 5 because you take JSN out. But for me, I have JSN in there for sure. So for me, I think it's hard. Like I cannot take JSN, Neighbors, or Chase and say, give me Jeremiah Smith instead. Because I'm hoping that he's as good as these guys. So just give me him now. But like Pickens and all those guys, love them. Think Pickens is a monster. Thanks for Mario for dropping this extender, by the way, Mario. And then Luis just dropped another $20 extender. Luis is like, Smitty, I'm not letting you sleep tonight whatsoever, bro. And for that, I do thank you. I'm grateful for not allowing Smitty to have me shut eye. That's actually a good thing. You're helping. So thank you, Luis.
I actually, and this is obviously bold.
5-minute extender.
The show has
NFL and college and all that, but to me, like, if you're setting a bar for what Jeremiah Smith can be, his ceiling is higher than Jamar Chase for me. It's literally like
understandable
Johnson type talent. I'm not saying he's going to hit it. I'm saying if everything clicks.
Arguable on either side. There's really no sense in even saying that that's crazy or not crazy. That's so arguable.
Even saying Chase level, that's why he's ranked so high. Is that I mean the speed factor, and I think we learned a lesson with Marvin Harrison too. It's like
horrible lesson.
Marvin Harrison was always kind of missing the speed, but we were like, he's so refined and polished and size that he can get over that. And I think we learned that lesson. If you don't have, like in baseball, they call it a 5-2 player. If you don't have all the tools in the toolbox, we can't rank you as a top 5 coming out of college.
Yeah,
unless it's Neighbors has that.
I do think that is probably the it factor for MHJ. Is that he came with one piece of his game missing, and we're all just like, it's his dad. I look back on it, and it's so easy in hindsight to see you're wrong, but I look back on it, and I truly try and ask myself the unbiased question. And this is like truly the one thing, if I could gift this to anybody, you become the best fantasy football owner in the world, is the ability to be 100% unbiased, because no one can be. And I try and ask myself, who's the MHJ this year? Or really, even if it's not a rookie, who is the MHJ? And you got to ask yourself, are you overvaluing the Jeremiah Love situation? Is Arizona, when everyone, and there were a lot of people that did tell us, and we're right about a lot, but there were a lot of people that sounded the alarm on the Raiders situation, and we did, in a sense, ignore it. And I think there was a reason to expect that it could have worked out, but it just fell apart. It was awful. We didn't know much about Pete Carroll's son and what he was going to do to the offensive line, and that was an unknown, a blind spot.
You
had
a feeling about BTJ, and
I did.
You didn't hammer it as hard as you wanted to, but
I should have.
We were talking about it.
I did. I sounded a little bit of an alarm on BTJ, and then I backed down on it. I shouldn't have. But in terms of Jeremiah Love, we are asking the question, are we trying to overlook the Cardinals situation? I don't think we are, for all the reasons I've mapped out. But that is fantasy football. Like, perfecting that part of your own internal evaluation is the key to everything. And not saying you're always going to be right on predicting something, but if you could avoid all the pitfalls, you're at your best that you can be, and then you're just trying to get a little bit better of talent evaluation. But I guess, who is the player that everybody thinks could be, and let's not use JSN or anybody else that we've already used. Who is the player that everybody thinks you're not allowing yourself to really see, and that they're going to disappoint? Hammer, do you have a player that comes to mind? And I'm thinking like a Hendy, for example, like where you could say it's not going to happen. A Harvey, a potential a Bucky. Like, all those players fit in that mold, do they not? They're all players that you could, in hindsight, be like, that was kind of obvious, right? How do you perfect that? It just takes practice. But for every one of those players lives an Achan, lives a Kyron, lives a Jahmyr Gibbs that people doubted, and so it's a tough balance. But Hammer, who's the guy, if you were to hone in on, that has that MHJ? You just, maybe you're not being honest with yourself. And I'm not saying pick someone you hate. Pick someone that, like, is Bucky or somebody you're like, maybe feel a little bit of that right now.
What, that just is not delivering what I expect?
No, that it's supposed to. You're all in on almost, but you have a little bit in the back of your head that, like Tootin, for example. I love Tootin. How much of that has got that has a little bit. Tootin, Bucky, all these guys. This player that I'm asking you to identify, you want to do well, you think will do well, but part of you inside has been telling yourself there's a little bit of something here that might be MHJ. Maybe. You can't pick someone you're doubting. It's somebody you like.
Can it be someone that is more situation over the player too? Because
I don't know.
Like
Keep
keep
thinking of it.
Player.
Keep thinking of it, and then
I have one.
Okay, go ahead, Hammer, and tell me who you're thinking. If you need time to think about it, I can come back to you. But it has to be somebody you like.
I mean, I guess I would say he's not on the list. I really, really like Quinshon Judkins, and I know you're probably like, where the hell did that come from? But it's because of the situation he's in, and I think it's gonna ruin him.
Okay,
but
great answer. But I'm asking you to pick somebody that you're promoting to do well. This is a really hard question, and I know that's why I could tell everyone's going to struggle with it. You have to pick someone you're talking up, you're banking on, you love them, but I'm asking you to dig deep to say, is there a player that you're saying, I love him, but there is a thing that's kind of in the back of my mind. Like, example, again, Tootin.
Maybe
we
a
all
Lad.
love Lad. Perfect. Because you've been talking him up. I hear you talking him up.
A Lad.
Yeah. That's a perfect one. Like, if we can master, like, this is what you live to do. This is what makes every fantasy owner a monster or not, is being able to sift through these things. Because, seeing the BTJ coming, seeing the MHJ coming, seeing, all the failures when it seems propped up to be like, there's no doubt about it. Bucky is we love Bucky, but Bucky is one of those players. But so is Achan. So it's not as clear cut of you just avoid everyone that you feel that way about. The key is getting it right. But Lad is a perfect example. That's what I want you to do. Admit someone you love and then be like, but I'm not being honest with myself 100% probably because I want him to do well. So, let me merge Luis in. That's the perfect example is Lad. Travis, what was your player?
Believe it or not, HM. Just not because of him, but because of the situation. Because now, if they go and sign like a Jennings or a Diggs or something, I'll feel a lot more secure. But I mean, there's a chance there's no one to throw to in that room. I think they'll cobble it together. But if that line sucks, if Malik Willis goes down or doesn't play up to expectations,
Yeah.
And who's their best receiver right now? Tolbert? Until Chris Bell might come back, but he's a rookie. Caleb Douglas is a rookie. Like,
hopefully they bring in
Washington
Debo.
hasn't shown us much.
Jennings,
so
Debo.
That's my hope. But
yeah.
And I'm promoting Etienne, and I love him, and I think he's going to catch a ton of passes, and I think they have enough. But it's a little like the Raiders situation last year, where we thought they had enough, and it can all come crashing down.
That's what I'm asking you to do. Somebody you love that you're promoting, that you're saying is going to do great, and you're trying to contradict yourself using as much logic as you can. Hammer, you can interrupt anytime you want. I'm going to ask Luis who his guy is, and then I'll go to Husseini, then over to Rockout, and then back to Hammer. Luis, do you have a player that you are all in on, but you know, if you're trying to find that part of you that says, okay, I'm ignoring some things, maybe not, maybe?
My voice is kind of back a little bit, but I'm going to hate myself for a while. I'm going to tell you straight up, I hate to say this, but I've been talking to a couple of friends, and they might have a point. Drake May. I hate to freaking say it.
I knew it.
Drake May. I'm sorry. It's just the Patriots, bro. To as much as I want to say they're gonna do it, deep down inside, I wanna live through a world where they're gonna figure it out. But
have you been pro Drake May though, or have you been anti Drake May?
Really? I'm in
the
most pro.
Okay.
Travis is probably the only guy you're ever gonna meet that is more.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, I'm sorry. Well, you gotta. I guess see a lot of things. That's a great one, then, Luis. I mean, you're digging deep. You're digging deep to you're a Drake May guy. May the force be with you. And you're. That's a great answer. You understood the assignment. You understood the assignment. And just to back up Luis a little bit, like there is a little bit of me, that says like, do they know what to do here? Well, they like if AJ Brown gets traded for, then it's great. It's just like I think if Debo or Jennings were added for Travis, he probably changed his answer away from AJ.
Feel a lot better, yeah.
So like if AJB lands on roster, but like as part of me just and by the way, it's going to be Drake May tomorrow. Drake May. My answer is Drake May for sure. But I'm just saying I understand where Luis is coming from because this particular situation, you've got a lot of turmoil right now in New England. And then they haven't understood how to use Hendy. They haven't brought any wide receivers yet. What if they script AJB situation? But I think it will get put to bed once AJB's traded for. Go ahead, Luis. Sorry.
It's not about bringing AJ Brown. It's not about the offense they got. It's not about the great defense they got. It's the fact that Bravo messed everything up, and he's gonna have to leave. And that's the unfortunate part about it, because you're not gonna be able to sustain it, because as good as my voice is going away, sorry, but like okay, so like it's like you cannot have Bravo be the leader of men, and you cannot have Bravo coming into like every single time they win a game. Cool, their schedule went from a strength of 394 or something like that to like 500 this year. And then Bravo, every time they win, he's going to be standing outside every single time. He's going to be like, great job. Bro, I can't trust you.
Well,
it's man. It's the man's sport. But like, you cannot have Bravo doing this thing to people that are 22 years old. Especially somebody like that I love. Hendy, bro. I love Hendy. He is a great person. He waited to marriage to do what people do, and you're gonna tell me what I gotta do? I'm sorry, I can't do that. I'm sorry. It's just something that like
one point on the like not necessarily toward the locker room is going to have a big beef with it. Is I don't necessarily I understand your stance here and I respect it. Like that's the way you think of it. What I said to Travis and to everybody the other night was that this is a situation where he's having to put on a face right now. I'm not saying he's not genuinely upset or that or whatever. Then again, it's like he did this for so long.
Well,
I don't know that I believe
he should
anybody.
have came out.
Hold on. I don't
Go ahead,
really
go ahead.
believe anybody that says, "Oh, it was a mistake" or whatever. This guy did a 6-year mistake or whatever. But even if that was the case, he can't go out there and look like Vrabel. Vrabel's the guy that's high-fiving everybody, looks like he's strong and he's an ox, right? And he's going to bump into somebody and he's got to look like he's living it, having fun, having the time of his life. That's the way he coaches. And right now you see him in the corner. He's got his head down. He looks all like defeated. And he kind of has to show that, because if he acts like everything's great, he's going to look callous. He's going to look like he doesn't. So he's kind of like acting right now, even though he probably is remorseful to a degree. And it's like, to me, I think that's going to be a hard balance for him, because if he starts to act like nothing's bothering him and he's all ready to go, he's going to be judged for it. And it's going to be a constant. And maybe I'm wrong, and I think I've been pretty right all this whole time. You know, it's been horrible, just like I predicted the whole way. No one's letting it go away. It's completely exactly what I said to a T. Maybe I'm wrong and people get bored of it. And Rossini does shut her mouth and doesn't say anything about any of it. But, he did. And I know, Travis, you said he didn't exactly throw her under the bus. I believe he did, because they had an agreement together of how they were going to tell the story. And Vrabel took a beeline toward the truth, which is honorable in that singular moment in time. I'm not saying that the truth isn't the way to go at that moment, and he wasn't honorable anywhere else. But I'm just saying, to tell the truth, and he might have done it because he had to. And Rossini's like, wait a minute. So to her, in her perspective, he veered off course and left her for dust. And so who knows what's in her mind. Right now, she seems like she's in repair mode. She wants to get another job, but who's going to hire her? So she might get to a point where maybe writing a book, maybe speaking out is her only leverage to go into something where it's controversial. And let's be honest, when she's interviewed, she'll bad talk herself, bad talk her husband, bad talk everybody. You think she's that scared about talking about an uncomfortable scenario? She probably might enjoy it. Like, this might be something that she'll actually get a kick out of talking about, because the way she talked about her husband and herself all the time, like, she was completely disparaging toward everything in her life, like her kids, like, oh, I have a horrible marriage. We barely talk to each other. Like, do you think she's really going to get out there and go, you know what? If I can't get a job on any serious network and I got to go to Barstool, or I got to go somewhere, and I almost guarantee you Barstool would hire her for clicks. And I almost guarantee you that, they don't have to put her in the forefront, but she would have a show that's connected to Barstool. Like, and they even interviewed what's his face from Barstool, Big Cat or whatever. And he ended up saying something that sounded like it was something that they would consider when he was talking about it. And so I could see, her landing somewhere where part of the gig is going to be like, be open and honest about it. And she's like, that's fine. Like, what worse could it be? Let me just be open and honest about it. My marriage is falling apart, and this, and this. And she's the kind of person that wouldn't care to talk about it. So my whole point is, I could see this going off the rails in an even bigger way that the team just wants nothing to do with. It's not necessarily that anything new even comes up. It might. Like, I can't imagine there not being more photos or something that comes up. But this bandage that's covering this open wound is just going to keep getting ripped off. So my point is, I do think that there's more to what Luis is saying in terms of the Patriots aren't safe right now to have their best season and environment in front of them. I don't know that Drake May necessarily falls apart, though. I think this could be something else that's taxing on Vrabel, or if he stayed, or potentially a coaching change mid-season. Like, that's where my concern would more so lie, at the crossroads of where this thing goes off the rails. But I still think Drake May delivers. I appreciate your take, and it's a great player to throw out, Luis, because I'm asking you to dig into a player category that you love. So it was a great name to throw out. But I personally, just addressing the prediction, I personally think that you add AJB and Drake May's going to ball. But that's just my take. But it's a great name to throw out. Travis, you've been trying to say something. Let me let Travis go. And then they go to Husseini to pick his player. Then back to Rock Out. Then over to Hammer to see if Hammer has another one. And then we got – go ahead, Travis.
I just tend to think that either he's going to resign in the next couple of months here, or they're gonna keep him, and it just won't, like, things can come out, but it's just gonna be like batten down the hatches for the season. And now that could become a distraction. So,
Travis,
I don't know
appreciate
where
you
it would
actually
go from
saying
there.
that. Travis, I appreciate you saying that because in the comment, no, you have not. In the comments, you have literally saying that he already addressed it to the players. I appreciate you actually saying that he might actually leave.
He did address it to
No,
the players. Greg Smith came out today, 2 days ago and said, I'm behind Vrabel fully.
Oh, my God. Okay, cool. But, like, isn't that what news media does on the daily basis? That's just what it's consisted of. It's supposed to be like that. But, I mean, for you to actually say, hey, there's a possibility that he would actually.
I've been saying that for 3 weeks now.
No, you have not. You said
regardless.
Did I not say if something else comes out, then it's going to get too big and he might have to go?
He has said that. He has
said that the first day it happened.
You have said that. You have actually said that.
Yeah, he said that.
You would always say it has been addressed by the team. It's done. But then you never actually understood the whole plot of it. It's like it was always there for the taking, and you were just acting like you didn't.
You're right, Luis. Okay, you will.
Oh my God,
Luis.
I don't care to go over this. It's a merry-go-round. You do this every time. You tell me I don't understand.
I'm just saying. It's
I do.
No, I'm just saying. It's like, bro, like, if we're gonna talk about like the Patriots, I love the Patriots, but we're not gonna be going about all this. Like, it's like we have to be real about what happens on the daily basis.
I have been.
We can't just take.
You can tell me I'm not. So what do you want me to do?
Like
I don't know, man.
Travis has been pretty. Luis, I'm only going to defend what I believe to be true. So I'm not.
Sure.
I would never.
Yes, sir.
I would tell a lot of what I just said. I think about Rossini that I don't think Travis fully agrees with. I'm not just going to talk about what anybody. I talk about what I believe. Travis has been, as much as it might seem differently to you in the chat. Maybe he said something here or there that's made it seem differently. He's been pretty consistent on that. If something bigger comes out, he thinks that Vrabel could be done. Like he said that a couple times, but he has very much been, if you want to say he's been not in agreement with something Stancev made, is that it will go in all the directions that I've described. Like he's more so thinking it will still be a little more quieter than I think is what he's saying. But he's definitely said if it gets worse, if anything comes out, then he's gonna be toast. He's definitely stayed to that.
I just want to understand what was the worst, because he was saying if something else comes out. Yeah, what was the worst? Like, what was the thing that made him go over the edge on this?
I mean, I don't think we know. Because, like something like a video.
Course, but he had
something else already did come out. Like the extra pictures that came out.
Yeah,
that made it worse. That proved it was a long-term affair.
Yeah, he did say, Luis, that was.
You agree on that? You agree that he should be gone?
Yeah, he said that. He said that he doesn't.
I don't agree he should be gone. I agree he could be gone.
Yeah, it could be gone.
Well, that's just a what if. That we're just going on speculation. It's like, what's your actual answer?
I don't think we're getting where on this one.
Yeah, this is
going
nowhere.
Of course, we're not going to get anywhere on this. But I just want to know what Travis really feels like.
Well, I think he's told you, Luis. He's told you what he feels.
He hasn't actually told me his actual point of view. He just gives me a hypothetical.
I'll give you my point of view in 3 sentences.
Yeah, let's let him talk. Go ahead, Travis. Give us your point of view, and then Luis, this is his point of view. He's mapping it out for you.
Take it away.
Go ahead.
Take it away, Travis.
When it first started, I said if this is a one-off thing, it will go away. People won't be talking about it when the season comes. But if something else bigger comes out, then it might become to the point of a distraction where he may have to go. Something bigger came out. Those pictures dropped proving that it was probably a 6-year affair. And so now we're stuck in the middle of that. I also said I was fine with him not talking to the media and addressing it in the way he did. He couldn't fully address it, but beat around the bush, whatever, say I have to be better, I'm here for my family, whatever, until he talked to the team. Right after he talked to the team, he did that. And then from there, it's completely up in the air. He could be gone in 2 months. They could rally around him and keep him for the year. I have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah, Travis has said many times he
That's it.
thinks that Vrabel could become a distraction and it not be the best for the team. He said that several times. Look, the problem is, Luis, we're trying to like speculate. There's 100 different things that could pop up. We can't predict what those things could be. But I think we all can admit that he's a big enough distraction that if it doesn't go away on its own, that it will continue to be. And then it's like, at what point does the team just pull the plug and say, look, but we're all like in that spot. The thing is, if something else comes out, I mean, Travis, you, me, everyone here is probably going to say he's not surviving it. He just can't. If it's something big, if it's like another photo that's like the same place and it's a different angle, that's not necessarily, that will definitely open a wound and then they'll talk about it. But Luis,
some of us can do it, I guess. I don't know.
Luis,
5-minute
Luis,
yes, sir.
Luis doesn't want me to sleep at all tonight. It's fine. I accept my role.
You're in the Mountain West. I'm in Central Time. Travis is in East Coast. If anything, Travis should go to sleep because he's 1 hour after me. You're like 1 hour.
Travis can stay up later than anyone here, so
he's a gamer. I know. He has done more for the show. He has done more for the show.
He has.
Any one of us has ever done.
Travis he's a beast.
1,000%
you should
agree with what you say.
And
yes,
you should appreciate Travis because Travis does a ton for the show.
Because bro, every single time, like even think about it like this. The one time that me and Husseini were going back and forth. And I'm like, where the heck is Travis? And you're like, Travis deserves to have a good, like a night. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, respect Travis. Nothing against Travis. Like, I like Travis.
Appreciate it.
I'm just saying, like,
all right.
I really do. Like,
you like to butt heads and argue a lot. I think sometimes people would take it wrong. I understand you. I understand that it's just your nature. It's not that you ever have any hard feelings against anybody, but you love to go at it. You love to go at it, and I think, and I understand.
You want to hear one thing that you're gonna hear, like one thing about me that is like 1,000.
Hold on 1 second, Arthur. Just mute yourself, please.
I could care less about anything else. I don't.
You care less about what?
Money. I literally only care about principle.
Well, but sometimes you gotta know that other people have different viewpoints. It's not necessarily always about principle.
And that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And that's why I have gone on the chat and I said, hey, if I want to call me, y'all can call me. I give my phone out. I don't. It's okay.
Don't give your phone number
one-on-one with anybody.
Don't give their phone number on the chat,
bro.
Don't do that.
I'll get two phone numbers,
Luis.
Bro.
Luis, we have when this show gets more ramped up, we have 20,000 views of video. You don't want your phone number in the chat.
Hey,
you don't.
Also, Smitty, I believe in karma. I'm sorry, like I believe in karma and principle. That's two things that I live by.
I believe in keeping your phone number private as well. That's something I would not put out there. Hey,
well,
hold on.
You might be right.
I know I'm right. I've been doing this a long time. You don't want to do
Go
that.
ahead, dude.
Hey, Luis, let me see what this guy wants real quick. He just called in. Let's see what he wants. Is this Arthur?
Yes.
You're live, Arthur. Arthur, are you the one that is in the chat saying that what Vrabel being, stepping out on his marriage doesn't deserve to be fired? Are you the one?
Yes, that's me.
Okay, well, let me first of all, real quickly, just tell you this isn't about him stepping out in his marriage. This is about several different things at play. Dating an insider for 6 years that's been following him in his career, that's potentially been feeding him information and him feeding her information, something they have not investigated yet. The NFL doesn't want to look into it. Of course they don't want to look into it, but they will eventually have to if he's still in the picture potentially. Second of all, she's got like coach of the year voting rights. This thing is corrupt as can be. It's not about, when people say, oh, it's just none of our business. That's the most ridiculous stance I've ever heard. If it was some person that didn't have ties to the NFL or reporting, it'd be one thing. Yes, you're right. But it also the fact that he went up to a podium and said it was all laughable and told every single person watching that it was laughable and that they were stupid for believing that it was anything other. He's created this own mess himself. This is far from something that shouldn't be our business or far from something that shouldn't get him fired. But go ahead. The floor is yours.
Okay, so I understand whatever you just said, Smitty, but at the same time, I believe what Rabel should do and should go up to the podium and just say, hey, everything you're saying happened. Next question. Second, just because you're cheating on, I understand she's a reporter. I understand all that situation that could go down. Let the NFL investigate. What are they going to find? Like, honestly, what are they going to find?
That he fed her information, that she fed him information, that a lot of their career has been about A.J. Brown. Like, what do you mean? There's so much to find. There's so much that the NFL doesn't want anyone to know. You know,
yeah, but the NFL didn't want Bill Belichick about Spygate. Why are they going to do something about?
What's that have to do? But what's that have to do? What's that have to do with anything? What's that have to do with anything? God. It doesn't. You're trying to tie something else now to explain why there's right and wrong here. You said that there's nothing. Because so what? You just repeat wrongs and like it's wrong, bro. The whole situation's wrong.
No, it is wrong. No. I'm not saying it's not wrong. I'm just saying I don't think this should get a person fired.
Well, we 100% disagree.
Wow.
We 100% disagree then.
Bro. There could be potential collusion. You don't understand that. There could be actual collusion that Mike Vrabel was telling these teams.
What is it that you're not? What is it that you're not getting? What is it that you're not getting about that having inside information about A.J. Brown and his situation, planting stories, allegedly sleeping? You know, or I wouldn't even say it. I don't want anybody to say the details on here. But allegedly, this is not the first time that there's these issues, and they're in Vrabel dating an NFL insider with Coach of the Year rights by itself is a problem. Not to mention that she may have not fed him information and also put out stories to potentially tell and shape something that can potentially have a trade or some sort of scenario play out that she had a hand in. You know, like he could have said to her, hey, why don't you just float this out there? And then she did. And then she's like, make sure you keep me informed so I have the first inside scoop on this. Like her job was 100% toast. Like she violated the policies on her side. Vrabel is also violating so many, you could say, unwritten rules and rules that compromise the integrity of the league by being in this relationship period, not to mention it was 6 years long. Like, and to go out and say this is laughable, lie about it, not only to Kraft, but you can say what you want about Kraft, it's irrelevant. Lying to Kraft and everybody else, that in itself is an integrity issue that deserves to be fired. Like, there's so many levels here.
Even if you could even say, okay, we can't prove collusion, or there wasn't even collusion. The second you open that door to allow for potential collusion, that's far enough that it's an issue and it's inappropriate. You know, you don't even want to open that door as a coach. I mean, a reporter for sure not, but as a coach, why even go down that path? You know, don't open that door. It's stupid.
Like Arthur, when I hear people say it's none of our business, it just makes me like, okay, this person literally just walked in and just heard about it. Now they have no clue what they're talking about. I'm not saying you're saying that.
None of their business.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you said that specifically, but that's what I'm starting to feel here when I even hear someone argue that he doesn't deserve to be fired. This man carried on a 6-year relationship with an NFL insider tied directly to reporting on his career. Arthur hung up. He didn't
propelling his career.
Potentially. Arthur, you can call back.
I was just going to maybe say something. I mean, I was the first one, right or wrong, where I said he didn't break any NFL policies at this point, I said I think he should be fired. And I said, I think at this point, the locker room's already cooked. And I say that because what'll happen, it might be okay, but at the back of everyone's mind, especially if things don't go well, they always will just think of that. And that right there is like, you probably like Henderson. I'm assuming this guy's a Patriots fan. What do you think Travion Henderson thinks?
I know that
So,
part.
like,
that part I do.
Like,
I know,
so I'm assuming he's a Patriots fan. So
that's where I get off.
Like this guy who's come out and been as pompous and almost just trying to make the average person feel like a fool. Like the lack of humility. That's actually really the really mind blowing part. Was like, why are people even asking me questions?
Right.
Like that's just not even, like, he doesn't even get it, or he doesn't care, and that's scarier.
Like, let me give you an example.
But
for Arthur to say like he doesn't deserve to be fired for stepping out. Let's just pretend you work for a university, okay? And let's say the I don't know, supplier of parts for the laboratory of the science lab, whatever. Let's say the person that was a manager at the university is having a 6-year affair with the parts manufacturer provider for the science lab. And there's all kinds of bidding that goes on, or there's, to win the job and all that. And the manager of the manager that was having the affair, so let's say the dean, finds out that the manager of this department, or you could call it the, I don't know, assistant dean or whatever, has been having this affair. Do you think that the dean doesn't have a right to terminate the employment of the person that's having the affair in this complicated business cross mess of a situation? Like, that's what makes me so dumbfounded here, when people try and act like it's not a fireable offense when they're having the affair. Doesn't matter that there's voting rights for Diana Rossini to vote for Vrabel as coach of the year. It doesn't matter. Let's take all those things that are corrupt out of the equation and just say the inappropriateness of what Vrabel did with an NFL insider that was reporting on his career and A.J. Brown's for the last 6 years. How that alone is a fireable offense all in itself, because any one of you out there would be fired if you were doing some sort of shady cross dating, cheating situation and putting the university you work for in some sort of bad light, in some sort of questionable situation. So the fact that anybody's arguing this is asinine to me. Just completely asinine. And you mix in the fact that there's collusion concern, as Travis just said, just even the mere fact of idea of collusion. Someone's got the background noise going. Can you turn that down? Whoever's got that. I don't know who's doing that. All right, real quickly, let me go to Husseini real quick. Then, who's got the background noise going? I got total reverb.
I don't know. I've been on mute.
Husseini, go ahead.
Nah, not me. No, just real quick, and I'll go. I mean, I was going to talk about something completely different, but if it's about this, then I mean, I'll make it quick. I mean, I don't care too much about this topic, but
we get time.
I mean, about the Vrabel thing, I mean, I guess I'm just on, like, I agree with Smitty. Like Hammer. I think the situation's a lot worse. It just keeps getting worse, and I don't think it's gonna go uphill any. Like, you just don't see a world where it just evens out or gets fine. I think there's gonna be more to this probably, and just kind of go downhill. I mean, like, locker room is cooked. I agree with what Hammer said about that. Like, I don't really think that, like, the morale is there. I'm not on the team, but I just from looking putting puzzles, pieces together, just the way it seems. And it's just a lot deeper than what I guess some like people like Arthur, I guess, think. It's just like, like Rossini named her son Mike. I mean, I don't want to talk too much about the kid because it's the poor kid. It's like he or she's innocent, but it's like that just speaks levels to what this really is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So,
I can't imagine.
Anyway,
that's why I say she seems like she would just be, I think, at some point openly willing to talk about this, which will be the big concern for Vrabel. I think is Vrabel sitting there going, and again, anybody could disagree with me on this one, but I think she has the personality type to really not care to talk about it openly, especially if she finds that she's had a dead end in terms of getting that network job again, which she's probably cooked on that. Her credibility shot, the trustworthiness is shot. So once she comes to a realization that no big network's going to hire her, then part of her likability to hire will be the story potentially, or her willingness to just be an open book. And she seems like the kind of person that is. She talk about how bad her marriage is every chance she got. So like this is not somebody that really cares to hide anything other than the affair, but like in terms of like her feelings about the negative feelings about something. So I don't know. I just think that is definitely going to be a concern. Of Vrabel's probably sitting here going, she's a loose cannon, and I don't know when this is going to blow up on me. And that part might be the part that drives him to step down, is that he's afraid that if, and it might not even help if he steps down, she still could talk about this like later. But part of me wonders, how that dynamic is right now. If she feels really wronged by him, like going in the different direction, and because if they stuck to their story together, she might have felt like she could have got away with what she was trying to accomplish or whatever. But the fact that they forked off,
they're assuming a lot, like speculating a lot.
Yeah, but I can't.
They may have talked behind the scenes too, and so I could speculate and say, oh, he said I got to save my job, and she's okay with it. We don't know.
Maybe. Arthur's calling back in.
Case,
Let's see. Arthur's calling back in. Let's see what Arthur says. Arthur, go ahead. And Arthur, it's okay to have a different opinion. It's okay to have a different opinion. It's fine. No one's.
No, I know.
No one's mad at your take. Go ahead.
Even though my take's bad, whatever you guys feel.
That's right.
I got a question here, Smitty. How does Schefter get his sources from? I know he's not. Actually, we don't know what's going on with him. But where does he get his sources from? He has personal relationships with people, right? That he gets.
It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant.
Oh my God, bro!
I don't know. I don't know what you're hinting at here. Are you hinting Schefter's stepping out?
You can.
you hinting
that tomorrow.
You have to have some sort of relationship with people. You're supposed to have some sort of relationship with people to get sources, right? You can't just guess out sources.
Come on, bro.
Come
on, bro. I wasn't gonna hang up on you, but I wasn't gonna hang up on you, bro. But come on.
There's a reason why I'm asking this question.
Oh my God.
That was terrible.
Jesus Christ, bro.
Finish him.
Oh my God.
That was a bad take. All right, hold on. Let me recall your boy Loud. We got 5 minutes left. I don't want to waste it on that ridiculous question. Appreciate you, Smitty. Need some advice for a dynasty team. Look over. I can't call, but just send it to Travis so he could tell you for me. Is it in the chat?
He just sent me his roster. I don't know. Do you want me to just send you a picture of his roster?
Yeah. Do that. Do that.
Advice or something?
Yeah, sure. That'd be great. Thank you, Call Your Boy Loud. Dropping a $20 super chat is officially an extender. So we got
5-minute extender.
We got this is the longest show we've ever had of extenders. This is 2 hours and 28 minutes. That was supposed to be a 10-minute show. That is crazy. You guys are wild men, monsters. I tell you. 9:26 time left. Do you guys mind if we do this team real quick?
So I just send you the picture to your IG.
All right, let's.
And you just said basically, who would you try to move, and if there's any targets, or should he trade out of his draft picks?
Okay,
some
so
basic advice on the roster.
Baker, Gainwell, Javonte, Amon-Ra, Dobbs, Adams, Travis Kelce. That's a rough team. That's a rough team in a dynasty because you got Javante's nice, but you're not going to be able to get rid of him for anything. Amon-Ra is getting older. Adams is cooked in terms of dynasty value, even though I like him for one more year, maybe. Looking at the bench, there's not much there. Cam Ward, it's a super flex. Okay, so Cam Ward, Aaron Rodgers is in your lineup. You should probably have Cam Ward in there. But you could potentially move Cam Ward, I guess. I mean, I'm looking at this thing. Picks, what does he have pick-wise? 1.7. 27 first-rounder, 28 first-rounder. I mean, if this was me, you're either going to pack it in and just try and get as many, move the 28s and 29 or whatever into 27. Try and move the 26 into 27. Try and get rid of St. Brown to get a 27 as early as you can. And maybe something else like extra that nobody knows is good, like a Manung guy on top of it, or go get BTJ and a 27 first rounder, in for St. Brown. Like, do something creative like that to get a piece. Like, you're either doing that or you're trying to go all in and trade your 27 first. Or let's say you get lucky and you get Price. Now you got Price and St. Brown. Then you trade your 28s and your 29 first rounders, and you're trying to get into, like let's say Javonte and a 27 first to go get a Bucky and something. Like I'm trying to, if I can get into it, because you got Gainwell already. You get Gainwell, Bucky, and you got St. Brown, Price, and then let's say you get Jordan Tyson using your 29 first rounder and something. Like now all of a sudden you have a team that try and build around, but then you have no picks. I don't know. The better move might be to just pack it.
Well, I was gonna say if he's going for a rebuild, like I'm looking at the roster saying, like, would you send off Amon-Ra for the 1.01? Or would you,
oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
And then I mean, if he wants to contending teams, if he gets creative with contending teams, he might be able to sell like a Javonte and a Kelsey, or a Javonte and an Adams, or Gainwell and a Kelsey, or start to get veteran guys and try to get.
I would say try and draft Price or Tyson. Try and get the other one. Maybe consider moving Cam Ward. Pick up Aller. Pick up Howard. Make sure you got the entire Steeler QB room. Maybe Aller turns into something, and you're like, oh my god, I lucked out there. So you got Baker now. Go get Bucky somehow, potentially, maybe. You got Gainwell already. I mean, maybe you could trade Adams and a pick for BTJ or something. Like, I would start building like that. Go after questionable players that you kind of think can get vitalized. Bucky's questionable. BTJ's questionable. Jordan Tyson's underrated. You got a pick that might get you Jadarian Price. You could maybe trade Cam Ward for a combo of things. Hendy's very underrated. So if you don't think you can assemble a running back like Hendy, draft Price, turn St. Brown into Tyson and BTJ, then you probably aren't. You don't even want to go down this road because you're going to run out of picks to move, and you're not going to have a team that can win. I'd almost say, unfortunately, you don't have enough to build a winning team to compete with someone that's probably stacked. I bet you there's a team in your league, maybe one or two, that are just stacked to the rafters because of the depletion of this team and a few others. I would say go get as many picks as you can. Make very good trades, though. Do not just give St. Brown for a random 27 mid to late. Like, you got to really sell St. Brown to someone. You got to get a 28 and a 29, then turn your two 29s into a 27, then turn your 28 and a Cam Ward into a 27. Like, you want to have the 1, the 3, the 5, the 6 in next year's draft, and you can turn everything around that way. That would be my advice, Collier Boy, is to really crush those trades.
Yeah, he could trade a Baker to get a Baker and something if in the super flex someone's going to give him a first round pick for it, and he could even build around Ward and whatever QB he could get next year too. And there's going to be a lot of good QBs next year.
Yeah.
Like,
all right.
I think even just by the numbers, because there's so many of them.
Yeah. Hammer, what else are you thinking right now? Let me circle back around. Hammer, he hasn't talked for a little while.
I'm kind of just typing right now, but just what I'm saying is I'm asking Arthur if Vrabel keeps the job and they make the trade for AJB, NFL decides to actually do an investigation, do you think they will find something? And he won't answer the question. I find it very hard to believe after 6 years.
Arthur,
very good take.
I'm not done. I'm not done talking.
Arthur,
That's a great take. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, hold on, real quick. I've said this before, Arthur. If AJB is acquired, then the league is going to be pressured to look into it more than they would not. I'm not saying they will. I'm saying they will be. If Vrabel is out of the picture and Rossini's out of the picture, and then some distance, like weeks or whatever, go by, and the team acquires AJ Brown, it's now unrelated. I don't think the remnants of what they did is going to force an AJB trade. Now, do I think AJB gets traded because of Rossini and Vrabel? No, not necessarily, but there will be reason to look into it. People will never shut up about it. And I forget who said it a minute ago that if they have a bad season, is everyone going to look back and blame it on Vrabel? That's another good point. But I do think AJB, if they do trade for him, and they will, Vrabel still being in the picture presents a problem for the NFL. I'm not saying it's 100%, but it's there. It's present. So what Hammer's saying is true. We've said this for weeks. We said this for a month, really, that AJB, I almost think the league doesn't, partly, secretly, this is my opinion, my guess, is worried about this trade happening with Vrabel still there. I think that they know that there's going to be somebody who wants to lift the hood. Whether it's just reporters asking that or whether it's something that actually gets dug into. So, it is what it. Go ahead, keep going, Hammer. I'm sorry. Bring down some of those.
I'm good.
All right. We got this extender here from Romario. Another 1:20. So we were at 1 minute 54 seconds. We're now at 6:50. Now, thank you, Romario. Appreciate you. Just bring the pillows. Hammer dropped off. Hammer, appreciate you, bro. Hammer's like, I'm done. He's like, I'm not. The longer you stay on the line. Thanks, Hammer. Appreciate you. I sent you a message. Thank you. Luis, thank you for extending the show too. You've been a monster. Romario, thank you. Husseini, thank you. Husseini, you got any final thoughts before we go to Luis to close it out?
No, just last thing. I don't have much to add to this Vrabel thing. I agree with you on this. And then just my quick player, I guess. I know Luis was May, and it opened a very good conversation. But mine would be like Burden, Caleb Williams Burden. I'm really rooting for that situation to work out. I love Burden. I'm high on Caleb. I know you're not high on him, but I just think he's in a great situation, and he's just so talented. I know the statistics or the numbers or whatever are not, he played. Are
you saying Burden is your player that you're touting, but you are kind of concerned for, or is it Caleb that you're saying that?
A little bit of both, but I think they're kind of connected. But I think it's more so just that situation working. But I guess Caleb's the more secure player there, just because he's the quarterback. But just that, I guess Caleb. But it's also kind of a little bit of Burden. I have a feeling I really want it to work, and I really believe in it. But it's like something about it, or part of me is telling me that it might not work out.
So
it might not work, but I think
if I had to,
my thing, but
because I've thought so much about this, and I think about it all the time, and it makes me drives my decision making. Truly, I think it's been a part of how you get more accurate doing what I do is to try and really honestly take the bias as much as possible out of it. And I always say I'm the most unbiased analyst you'll find, because I truly do try and separate myself from the situations like Shuck. This is the biggest example. I didn't like Shuck more than I didn't like Caleb in terms of being a fantasy quarterback. And Shuck, I absolutely love this year. You got to be able to change directions. If I had to identify the players that scream the most failure, even though I and I'm not saying they will fail. I'm just saying, like Travis's Achane example. He loves Achane. I love Achane. We all love Achane. But he's saying, if I'm digging deep, who is a player that maybe, not for sure, maybe I'm overlooking like MHJ, like Genty's offensive line last year. And the answers for me, and again, this doesn't mean I'm doubting him at all. I'm still all over Tootin, Hendy. I would say also, let's see here. Jeremiah Love, just because the situation is complicated with Brissett, and just like we defended some of Las Vegas last year, but there was some overpowering decision making that made things awful. Like there could be, we're benching Brissett, we're trading Brissett tomorrow. Like, so there is some of that there, but I still believe in all those players. I'm not changing my tune on Love. I'm not changing my tune on Tootin. I'm not changing my tune. Bucky's another one. I'm not changing my tune on Bucky, but those are players that cross my mind and hit my plate where I have to say to myself, am I passing them through, or do I need to say enough? Wait a minute. I am overlooking this. They pass through, but they're all very much in that realm of questioning it, right? London, 100% gotta at least hesitate on London, even if we love him, even though he's so good.
I was going to mention him.
The injuries, the quarterback situation, Stefanski. I would say Garrett Wilson, very much somebody. Neighbors with the injury, sure. Neighbors with the injury.
Because of how high he gets ranked,
Rice is someone you got to look at that too, even if we're I'm passing all those players through though. Like the whole point and objective is like, who are guys I love that I need to inward look and just say, am I overlooking this situation? JD5, that might be the number one, because there is concern. I think he'll clear, but JD5 certainly brings a lot of that. Are we missing anything? Are we trying to will this thing to happen? JD5's 100% in that ballpark, but I still clear him. The players that don't clear are the ones that end up being the guys I say avoid, But there is a process to pass them through, and all those players are players that need to have a spotlight put on them, and then you're like, okay, you're clear, go ahead, but boy, you barely passed. Get out of here, Bucky. That's Chase Brown, love him, but if something happens to Burrow, what happens to him? Granted, they bring back in Flacco, he's cleared. Go ahead, move on. But if Flacco wasn't brought back, there'd be a little bit of hesitation on what happens if Joe Burrow goes down. Dynasty perspective. What if Joe Burrow gets traded? Like, then you start looking at him again, maybe a little bit in Dynasty. Lab McConkey, Hammer brought up a great player, Lab McConkey. And Hammer was struggling at first, I think, to understand what I was saying, and then when he said it, he threw out a name he's been touting like crazy. So Hammer finally understood the assignment, and he crushed it on the name. Travis and Hammer gave probably two, and Luis. I mean, May, Achane, and Ladd were three excellent answers, because it's tough to admit it, that there's a little bit of question. And that's the reason we got on this topic was MHJ. Like, we kind of all had a.
Well, my whole thing is like, how is it a small thing?
We can't hear you, Luis.
Do you? Oh, okay. Let's say it again, Smitty. Do you really believe that the Patriots are going to make the? How about we make some of the bold takes? Let's make a bold take right now. Are the Patriots going to make the playoffs?
Hammer already put a bold prediction on saying they wouldn't, so he's definitely dropped that one already. But I think
no, I'm asking you. I'm asking you.
I think that. So here's what I said earlier. That one of okay. So I think the Bills win the division, the Chiefs win the division, the Ravens win the division, and the Jaguars win the division. So that leaves the Patriots, the Chargers, the Bengals, and the Broncos. If I'm just spitballing right now. So one of these four teams, the Patriots, the Chargers, the Bengals, the Broncos, is not making the playoffs in my mind right now. And yeah, there is a chance they don't because of all the turmoil going on. But these are four amazing teams. So it's not like because they don't make the playoffs that I'll be calling them a bad team. We might see a 10-win plus team not make the playoffs in this AFC. So if I had to predict right now because of Bo Nix's ankles, I'm going to say... I just worry about it. I'm going to say Patriots, Chargers, Bengals advance. but it was close call. Yeah, just if I'm spitballing it.
No, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it changes every week, and that's perfectly fine. But like,
no,
I'm
Arthur.
just looking at it from a perspective. I'm sorry.
No, Arthur said Texans, Smitty. I'm like, no, Arthur, you're already 0 for 3 tonight. Texans aren't making the playoffs. Go ahead, Luis. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but like, I'm sorry, my bad. Yes, sir. I just don't really see the Patriots actually doing anything, just because it's there for the taking. I feel like when I say that, it's just like
Husseini left. Sorry, Husseini.
Last year it was magical, man. I'm talking like you saw Bravo come in, everything was perfect. They had the best draft they have had in years. They drafted Kyle Williams, and I'm talking like Patriots Nation was up. Now we come to today, and Bravo will not show up to the draft when they drafted all these players. Like I live in Texas, so like they drafted a guy from TCU. He would still not be there. It's like I'm just like over talking.
I mean, it's arguable, Luis. It's arguable.
I don't think it's about being arguable. I think it's about being.
It's a perspective. It's a perspective, though. It's a perspective.
Yeah,
like, I mean,
it's about being a man, bro.
I think you're listening to the "it was a fluke" people a little too much. I understand your take, but I think you're hearing the noise a little too much too. I don't know. No. It's like no, Travis. Like, it's not about me hearing noise. It's about just if I'm 31. If I was 21, I would go in there, bro. My mind right now, it's a little more mature. If I was 21 and somebody would have told me like, hey, y'all, like, hey, I got you. But then we're supposed to go fight a war as men. But then you actually, you go in the media, bro. Like, you're in the media, like, hey, y'all, it's fake. It's fake, bro. It's freaking fake.
Well,
fake.
I get.
You understand what I'm trying to say? Like,
I do it. I think it's a perspective. That's why I appreciate the perspective. I think that you're gonna have some players like Hendy who may or may not feel like, okay, he just yelled at me.
It's not even about Hendy. Go ahead. Sorry, my bad.
Well,
sorry.
but if I mean, you're asking my perspective. I'm just giving my perspective. I think some teams are gonna, or some players are gonna maybe have a problem with him, lying to them. Some players might say, bro, I understand why you lied. I lie all the time about that. Like, I don't know how that's going to go. But I do think that what's more important, Luis, is not that these players are going to have principle behind him stepping out. Like, I think it's more about they're looking at him like an injured dog. They're looking at him and he's not himself. They're looking at the circus and all the questions that they're getting asked. And I think that they've got his back if he's there, and they don't if he's not. Like, I think it's about I guess you could say as important as, like, if something were happening to any one of your bosses out there, and you'd have his back if he stayed, maybe if you liked him, and you probably be like, wow, that's crazy that he left and that they whatever, and you move on. Like, I don't think that the team's unwilling to fight for him. I don't think the team is going to play lesser necessarily. I think it comes down to, is the coaching staff off kilter? Is the whole situation not good? And does the team not play well from a lot of other aspects of preparedness? And, I don't think it's going to, will they make the right decisions as a staff? Did Vrabel missing 8 of the 11 picks on the third day cost this team a win that we can't see or ever measure? Like, there's so many other steps that Vrabel's situation can impede upon. That I think that it is something that can affect the team winning, no doubt. But I don't think at any moment the team's like, we're not going to war for you. I think that it's just, I bet you some players have lost respect for him that are very moral, like Trey Henderson. I think other players that probably step out themselves, probably like, whatever, I don't care. And there's going to be a mix of it. There's no one way to define this. It's a perspective. I agree with, you in some respects that it's definitely, a wild scenario.
Okay.
but I don't know that we can measure any of what you're trying to say in the grand scale,
For sure.
like, because everyone's going to feel different.
1,000%. So I'm gonna just say this real quick. Can we rank the top 5 other than the Cowboys, the Rams? Who's next when it comes to revenue? You can say the New York Giants, but it truly is the Patriots because they're global. So I live in the middle of Cowboys country. You know what I'm saying? So basically what I'm trying to say is anything, if CeeDee Lamb were to have a toenail like malfunction or like something happens to CeeDee Lamb's toenail tomorrow, it is in the headline. Guess what? Mike Vrabel is the head coach of the Patriots, which is one of the top 5 franchises in the United States. Hell, they might be one of the most popular franchises in Europe. So every single time they go to a freaking city, they're going to be the show. They're going to be the circus. So do you really think that this young team is really going to take this whole thing and just be like, oh, this is just what we're supposed to do? That's why the Cowboys never succeed. That's the problem with the Cowboys. The show is bigger than them. So do you really want that in the Patriots, Travis? I'm asking you because you're a Patriots fan. It's like, do you really want this whole circus to come into town every single time? Because it's never going to leave.
I think you just want me to say that I think Vrabel should be fired, right?
Just say it, Travis.
No. You no, that's what you're saying. That's what you're assuming.
Travis, just say it.
I'm trying to ask. No, Smitty, I'm trying to ask you a question. Bro, Smitty, Travis, you guys are just blowing it out. No, I'm literally just trying to dig into the mind. I'm trying to understand how Travis, because you don't go from saying, oh, it's already been talked about. Like, bro, that's kind of weird, to be honest with you. It's like,
I don't know. I'm not tracking, Luis. I'll be honest. I'm not tracking.
You don't have to. Go ahead.
What is he supposed to, like, they're going to, I think you're trying to, it's too hard to speculate what each and every player is going to think, what percentage of players are going to think this, how many players are going to speak up, because someone can do something wrong and one person will go, I can't work for this person. But the rest of the people might say, okay, that's his personal life. I don't like
Welcome to the Cowboys.
It's just so much speculating.
Yeah, that's the Cowboys.
Welcome to the Cowboys.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Cowboys.
I'm more worried about CeeDee Lamb's toenail. I'm more worried about CeeDee Lamb's toenail.
I understand.
This is upsetting.
Exactly. And bro, what I'm trying to say is the Patriots, they're up 5 to 3 to maybe potentially 2 franchises in the NFL. This is not going to go away no matter how much he talks to the players and we try to add that it doesn't matter. It's going to come up every single time. On football.
I agree.
This is unless there's not more to the story. If more pictures come out of them, eventually people are going to go, more
Travis,
pictures of the same
thing. You said this last time. Travis.
Look, hold on. Travis, let me take care of this. Luis, he did.
Thank you for Travis. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
He did say it. He did say it last time. You're wanting him to say something. He did say. He did. He said from the beginning, if more comes out, he's cooked. But he can't. But Travis can't push the button.
Am I talking to Travis or am I talking to you?
But he can't. He can't push the button. He can't fire himself.
No. I'm just asking. No, I understand. But am I talking to Travis right now?
You're talking to me. You're talking to me.
Yes, for sure. Yes, sir. For sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Go ahead. Like you were saying.
Well, I'm just saying that, it does seem like you want Travis to answer a certain way, and he's trying his best to tell you that. And I'm trying to back up that no matter what, this has nothing to do with this. I back you up too. Like when you're talking, I say, Travis, this is what I think he's trying to say. I'm just trying to be the intermediary between this situation, the arbitrator. But Travis has said that if one more thing comes out, which did, that he thinks he's cooked, but he can't press the button. Like, why isn't he got fired yet? He doesn't know. But I think Travis is telling you that if another thing comes out, I agree. How on earth could he get over it? He can't. But right now he's already like in the oven cooking. And I think the only thing that's happening is the Patriots are waiting to see if maybe it goes away. He's already crossed the line. I think I can say that that's accurate. He's crossed the line of almost no return unless it all just gets quiet. And if it does, then I think the Patriots are willing to risk that this could blow up later in August or September. But I mean, I don't know what more anybody can really say other than yes, the more that comes out, the more likely they're pulling that plug quicker if they're able to even hold off pulling it. I think that's the general consensus for what Travis has said, and I'm just trying to clarify it so that you know what he's trying to say. And that's the way that I've been standing too on it. Go ahead, sorry.
Well, I just want Travis to say what he wants to say.
There's no point in.
Go ahead. Yes, sir.
That's all I'm saying is that I just don't see any more reason to speculate. We can talk about it. We can give opinions. We can debate. That's good. That's fine. But for me to try to crawl into the head of Travion Henderson or Kayshon Boutte or the 53rd guy on the roster, I can't do that. Nor can I crawl into the mind of the owner and go,
no.
Are they waiting for a reason? Are they hoping a bigger story comes out and buries it? Or are they waiting for something to take place for more information?
It is not about what these guys think. It's about what you think. It's about you look at everything.
No, it's not.
You look at the evidence.
I am meaningless in this situation.
Luis, what do you want from him? Really, what do you want from him? And then he can answer it. Because what do you want from him? And he can answer it.
Because, bro, Smitty, really? I'm not even.
No, but I'm saying you're defining what Travis should say or not say about it, and he's trying to answer you, but you got to ask him. You got to ask him what it is you want him to answer, like because you're saying, it's not. He's saying it's not about. He's saying it's not about what he wants, and you're saying yes, it is. Like it's not about what he wants.
No. It's, I never said that.
You just did.
Rewind that shit. Go ahead and say it. No, I literally just said, bro. It's literally just. How does
go.
Travis? Go ahead. He's doing it. Okay, go ahead. Do it.
I don't know what's going on here.
I don't know. All I said, bro, it's like I just want Travis to how does he see the situation? Like if it was all I want is Travis. No, this is Anyway,
Luis, listen to yourself though. Listen, you're wanting Travis to answer a certain way. What do you want from him? Like I love you, pal. Luis, you're one of my favorite. You're one of my favorite callers. You're one of my favorite callers. No, and don't take this the wrong way. You're my second favorite caller. Denny's hard. Denny's hard to top.
Bro, I'm sorry. Hey, I am so sorry to say this. I am so sorry to say this, Smitty. I don't hang up, and I don't ignore, and I don't not call back. I'm sorry. But like I was talking to Travis right now.
Sorry for what?
I don't.
I'm confused.
To the tape again. You'll understand what I say.
Listen to the tape again. I mean, I think everyone can probably say what you heard, what they heard. I mean, I don't need to run it back, but you said that it's not about what that you said. It's about what you were trying to get Travis to say his opinion, and he's not wanting to say.
You were just no. Let's go back to what you were saying before that. You said that I love you, and then I don't really take it. I don't take it up the ass, bro. If you hurt my feelings, I'm going to stay here, and I'm going to call you back that same minute. And if I can't get you on the live chat, that's fine. And then I'm going to call you one-on-one.
I don't even know what you're talking about, Luis.
Something might have happened in the past. That's just me. Anyways, like I was saying,
I don't know what you're talking about, Luis. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm confused.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, okay, Travis, I just want to know.
I think you need to sleep it off, Luis.
Travis. No, I don't need to.
Luis, look at the chat. The chat is also in agreement. Like, what is going on here? It's like a vendetta against Travis.
You know that.
It's like a vendetta against Travis.
I'm fine.
Hey,
but I just don't know.
I love WWE. Guess what? WWE versus WCW was one of the best arcs in history. So Rumble versus YouTube, let's have that and see what's up. So let's see what's up with YouTube. Because I'm Team Rumble. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it live.
All right.
Let's do it live. If they really want to do
All right,
that,
let's call it a night. Let's call it a night. We're good. We've
yes, sir. I mean they wanna bring it on. Bring it on. It is what it is.
I don't know.
I don't know.
All right, Luis, I appreciate you. I'm ending the phone line for everybody because I'm going to go to bed. 3-hour show. Appreciate you, Luis. Appreciate Hammer.
Thank you.
Husseini.
Thank you so much, Travis. You have a wonderful night. Bravo should be fired.
Luis, what Luis's problem is tonight. All right, Rock Out. You have anything you want to add? Rock Out's just sitting there.
No, I'll catch you tomorrow.
All right, appreciate you, bro.
Later,
Rock Out. Rock Out waited that whole time to say that. Rock Out's the true winner tonight. All right, I'm out of here. 3-hour show in the books. Good Lord. All right, see you all later. Appreciate every single one of you. Romario, Luis, Hammer, Call Your Boy Loud, Sergio. Let's see here. Call Your Boy Loud, Sergio. Who else was up in here today? Husseini, I said already. Hammer again. Hammer. Constant Luis. Luis extended the show beyond belief, and I don't know if he got his answers from Travis, but he definitely tried. All right, see you all tomorrow. Appreciate you. Later. Don't forget, we're live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. We're live whenever big news breaks. And we're live every single midnight, pretty much, Eastern on the main channel, and then live once a day on YouTube. Dose!